No, you'd be surprised. See, we're paying
Hey,
attention.
we're there. We're
Yeah.
there.
Hey, everybody, how you doing tonight? Oh, I'll make us bigger.
Make us bigger already?
Well, yeah, just
Oh.
while we're doing
Oh, I
it.
see. We're on the ambulance already.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
they were
okay, that's
talking
good.
about
Okay,
it.
that's good because my pictures aren't quite ready. Because
Okay.
I'm trying to move a bunch of stuff and it's not moving real fast. So.
Hey, everyone, y'all. Welcome to the stream. I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things. You can find my channel at Kim Fixes Things on YouTube. You have found Buff Del Campo, your host, at the Buff Del Campo channel, and I am here doing the engineering stuff. But I will be here as co-host most of the evening. This is our in-studio stream. We talk about the things you want to talk about, the stuff that you're talking about, and one of them is this 61 Cadillac Miller Meteor Guardian ambulance on Bring a Trailer. So I brought it up so we could see it there. We have had an interesting week. We have lots to talk about, and then we're going to talk about automotive stuff from the year 1959. So it is a big night, lots to do. And what was the other thing that I wanted to say? Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Somebody's back a
All right, all right,
scorching.
all right. You don't have to do that right now.
He said his
Man,
back was itchy.
what is, I don't even know what that means.
What? Grr?
Oh,
Expletive?
up there somebody put, this Iceman wrote something at 7.
Ecto 1?
Yeah, what is that? I don't know what that means.
Ecto 1 was the ambulance from Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Remember?
I didn't see them. I did not see the movie.
What?
I did not see that movie.
Ever?
No.
In your
Nope.
life?
Never saw the movie.
It came out in like 1983 and it was like the biggest box office movie for like 6 years or something. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
I love the part when, was it Dan Aykroyd? Like, car guy to a T. He's like, it just needs this and this and this and this and this and shocks and brakes and transmission. And he just goes on down the list of, but it's a great car. It's going to be great. Like, it needs everything. Like, oh, oh, knife through the heart. You caught me. I'm just like that.
So I'm trying to find pictures of.
Welcome, everybody. People are filing in rapidly, and I have not
you
begun
need to,
greetings.
You need to do your normal greetings, and we got.
I did, but we have to greet the chat.
This place, that's what I mean. The chat, and it's like been going for
yeah. You guys have been going
for like for an hour already.
Let's see. When did people start in?
I walked in, looked at my other computer. It's like that's when I wrote rockets.
Dave
At
the Rave
3:40 p.m., I wrote rockets in there. Wow.
Dave the Rave at 3:20 this afternoon says, "If you're not first, you're last." Dave was here also at 6:30. Has Dave said anything since 7 o'clock?
Well,
Has he said anything since 7 o'clock? Dave, where are you, Dave?
Look at this crazy thing
I
tonight.
can't award you points if you're not here when the stream actually starts. Okay, who's second?
For some reason, I'm not seeing something I always see.
What are you used to seeing?
So, there's a block over there. It just says select stream. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. That's what I'm used to seeing. Okay, so now we're
Technical difficulties.
Little
bit.
My little notes that didn't come up. There was some little.
Right. Has Buddy Carafano said anything since the stream started? You guys are making this like work for me here. Let's see.
Well,
Buddy. I don't see Buddy. All right, Buddy, I can't give you points if you make a comment at 3 in the afternoon, then you're not here at the start of the stream. Next is Mexican Spec, and Mexican Spec has been here since the beginning.
Dave the Ray.
JB was second. Mexican Spec, I award you 4 points for being here before and at the very, very beginning. JB, I award you 2 points for being here 1 minute before and like 2 minutes after. Dean Stevenson is here. Welcome to the stream. Iceman 2010 is here. Welcome to the stream. Yes, Ghostbusters. I don't know what year the one in Ghostbusters was. Who knows that? I'll award you a point. Find that out for us.
What year the Cadillac was?
In the Ghostbusters
It was
movie.
a 59. That's why we're 1959 tonight.
How do you know that the year of the Ghostbusters Cadillac was 59, but you've never seen the movie?
Because the car was famous.
Okay,
and
so I award Buff Del Campo 1 point.
friend of mine Had a red and white 59 Cadillac ambulance. I don't know which one it was, but it was prior to the movie. So when the movie came out, I was like, look, that looks like Bruce's car. But it wasn't.
Olive is here. I don't want to leave them out. Her out. Let's see. Who else do we need to find? Okay. I think we may have said hello to the people who are chatting so far. Because this is a live stream, we are going to be welcoming people as they come.
Oh my God, Kim, why does he say that? I don't know what's going on.
Who does?
Mexican Spec.
Oh, I don't know. I said something wrong. We'll find out. Bruce W. is here. This is my second visit to your site. Welcome back, Bruce. This is our live stream. Thanks for showing up. Twisted Mopar Garage is here. Welcome to the stream. Johnny C. is here. Hello, and welcome, Johnny. I'm getting my pizza. Be back. Well, pizza is worth it. Yes, get your snacks, get your beverages in order, and, we're just getting started here.
It's like the old drive-in movies. You go up and get your pizza and come back to the car.
Yeah, hit the snack bar or cabinet or the refrigerator or your Uber Eats or whatever you need to do so you have something comfortable, some snackiness, so that you can just chill and relax.
Pizza sounds so good.
Oh my gosh, we were in like a Flying J and they had pizza and I was like,
can't eat it.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna get pizza. I was like stupefied by the pizza. I was like, I'm gonna get pizza, but I was waiting for you. And then when you came in and you were really hungry, and I was like, oh shoot, I can't feed him pizza. So we went to Denny's, and it was an okay Denny's.
That I have really put down Denny's in the last many years. But you know what? It was good.
That was a good Denny's.
Yeah, it was.
The people were nice. And
I'll tell you where it is. It's inside a Flying J at Exit 7 in Arkansas, which is Exit 7 is on the far western end of Arkansas, just after you come out of Texas. And there's a Flying J there. And I always stop at Exit 7 and get gas and use the facility, And this time, we ate there. It was pretty good. Good service. Great service.
Bruce W. says he went to Air Force Tech School with you. Do you know who he is? Do we know who we are talking about?
I know who this is. Yes, Bruce. Wow. He not only went to Air Force Tech School with me. I bought a 62 Ford up there in Rantoul, Illinois. He got in that Ford with me. And we drove up to see my cousins in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. And it was a holiday weekend, and we spent the whole time together there, and he and I hung around together a lot. And then he ended up at Beale Air Force Base working on some really cool airplanes, and I worked on transport airplanes at Travis, so we weren't too far apart, 90 miles apart, so we still saw each other sometimes. And then, he ended up, I didn't know he was a retired inspector. Last thing I know, he was still an inspector working with airliners. And so he stayed with the big-time airplanes. Wow, yeah, Bruce, it's so good to see you here. Wow. Yeah, that was like 50 years ago.
Mexican Spec is scolding me. He says, how could you not know the year of the Ghostbusters car with those huge fins? I don't remember the last time I watched that movie in its entirety. It has been a very long time. I am picking out like the year and model of cars that are maybe 1970, maybe even some newer than that. Like I just don't have any experience with it.
I'm just not that good with it. Where's my barbecue from?
You know what? You have to drive to Arkansas and then you can get the barbecue.
Did you see
only be good fresh.
Did you see the video? Did we put the video up yet? Yeah, we did.
We only put the barbecue video up. We didn't put the long video up.
Oh. We put
just the one where we went and got the barbecue.
Oh, it was like 3 or 4 minutes or something. Yeah. That place, I always talked about it here. The bait shop in Arkansas, and we stopped there, and it was outstanding as usual. Looks like a little building out in the middle of nowhere in Arkansas.
People were friendly, and the food was really yummy.
Food is outstanding.
He didn't eat all day in anticipation of his sandwich.
And we got there, about lunchtime, and it was good, as usual. Can you put up my picture. I know we want to look at the 59, or
Oh,
that's not
okay.
even a 59 ambulance.
Mexican spec. Only the first Ghostbusters movie was the real Ghostbusters movie. The other
David
ones
Ray,
were like,
exit. You take exit 265 on I-40 in Arkansas. There's one building there.
One. I mean, there is nothing else there but corn.
And there's little lakes all around there, so I suppose that's why they have bait. So yeah, Bill Clinton is no longer governor. You'll be safe. Yeah, Bill Clinton was kind of from the other end of the state, down on the west end of the state. Exit 265 is way up near. It's real close to Memphis. It's like 15 miles from Memphis, something like that. But it's just one of those great places, just like it used to be, like in the 50s or early 60s, and you stop along the highway to get something to eat. It's just like that. Kim, 1, 2, and 4 are awesome.
You know what? Isn't it number 2 with the guy in the painting? I didn't think that one was that good. And then I don't really remember any of the other ones after that.
So the picture that's
They're
up
mad
there.
at me.
The picture that's up there is the car that JB, one of the ones he was like helping me search for a Fox body, found this one, had just a great interior and not a spot of rust
The
on
interior
it.
is really nice, yeah.
And I ended up buying it.
Yeah, there's no rust that we were
And
able to
I want to talk a little bit about what happened. The man we bought it from he's an actor, and you might know who he is. Toward the end of the stream here, I'll put up a link so you can see a trailer from one of the movies he did. He played Pablo Escobar in a movie, and he's an interesting guy. But as he says, he goes, "I'm not much of a mechanic," and he tried to fix a couple of things on this car. He put a battery in it, didn't quite fit, and it's kind of in there, cockeyed, and there's no hold down, but it couldn't go anywhere.
He told us he wasn't much of a mechanic, and he was right.
He was right.
The things, you could kind of tell the things that he had worked on because they were just not done to precision that you would hope. But
it was good
he didn't
enough.
break anything.
And obviously the oil's been changed, at least not too long ago, because it's still fairly
And there's
clean.
a fresh radiator in it. Radiator.
Yeah, a nice big thick aluminum radiator that's like probably at least twice.
It is in fact a Mercury Zephyr.
Did he bury your money? I don't know what he did with the money.
He actually murdered us and took the money without delivering the car.
So he's quite a guy. So anyway, toward the end here, I'll put up a link to a trailer of the movie about Pablo Escobar, and you'll get to see who this guy is. What are the Zephyr plans? Okay, immediate and long term. First, I'm going to tell you what we had to fix some things. I drove out his driveway. He's got kind of a long driveway out. And a gate that opens, electric thing, and we go out.
How many times did it stall going out the driveway?
Oh, man, the first stop it quit, and then it quit again. And I'm like, oh, man. His name, John Vaught, the man's name is not that. No, his name is.
His name?
His name, should I just say it? Yes. His name is Joe Rojas.
Oh, no, you were supposed to tell them his stage name.
Oh, what is his stage name? I don't remember.
All right, we're gonna work on it.
We'll go through that. But anyway, to get back to this.
Yeah,
what do we have to do?
Other actors,
we went and parked. We just got out of his driveway, and then we went. First thing I put, there was enough gas in it, probably drive 30, 40 miles, and I didn't know how old that gas was, so I topped it off with some good gas.
Yeah, they hadn't been driving it.
No, they drove it very little. They drove it to like some local car shows and things.
That's what he said.
So I put
and the
gas
mileage is very modest. I don't remember. Was it 100,000?
Somewhere around there. So he made a mistake on the mileage, but I can see why he made the mistake on the mileage. Cough drops bother me. I'm sorry. So Kim goes, look, there's some lights over there, and there are all these like tall lights on poles. She goes, I bet there's a parking lot over there that we can that we can park.
Yeah,
and we
because
can,
the gas station at the highway was about the noisiest place you can
and
imagine.
we wanted to video what we were fixing. So we drove over there, and the lights were a go-kart track. It's like, oh man, which is closed off. But there was enough of a parking lot. There was plenty of room to park, and it was quieter. So we opened up the hood, and I noticed the starter solenoid had been replaced, but it looked all janky, and the wires didn't look like something wasn't right. And Kim goes, look, they installed that upside down, and the hot lead, the hood would come down and just barely touch a hot lead, and there was a burnt spot on the hood. So we disconnected the battery, and the battery cables weren't on there very nicely. They just basically fell off. So we disconnected the battery, took the starter solenoid off. It was just mounted upside down, put it all back the way it should be. So now when you try to start the car, it always starts, because before, when you try to start the car, sometimes it starts, sometimes it wouldn't, because it would energize the hood instead of the starter.
And we got
which is not good.
The alternator belt we got tightened up.
Oh, and we started up, it was like the alternator belt's making all this noise.
Floppy.
And he says, I put some Marvel Mist oil on the alternator belt to try to get it to quiet down. It's
Levi's Backpart Performance is here. Welcome to the stream. We're talking about the car. This is the new car in our family. We got it from Texas.
So Kim reached down there and touched the belt, and the belt, it's just barely on there. I'm surprised I didn't throw the belt. So I slid underneath the car and loosened up the alternator, and Kim pushed from the top with something, and I tightened it up so the belt was right. Started up, and man, no more noise. What else? So we fixed the alternator belt, we fixed the starter solenoid, and it was something else before we could drive it.
I messed with the idle adjustment.
It was running like crap. So she adjusted the idle mixture screw and goofed around the carburetor a little bit.
And then we started driving it.
And then started up.
Miles and miles.
And then it would idle in gear. I could stop and it didn't quit. So, okay, now it feels pretty good. But then we drove it down the road a little bit, and it just handled terrible. And pulled into it does have an inspection sticker on the windshield. Oh, maybe that's a picture of his.
It did have an inspection sticker.
It still has the inspection sticker in the windshield.
Yeah, the sticker that's in the windshield, you can't see it.
It's not there on this picture. Huh. So, because this is one of Joe's pictures. So, then we went to a gas station, pulled in, and it had very little air in the left rear tire. So we brought all the tires up to 35 pounds, took it out on the highway, and now it handles good.
Wow, you're telling the story word for word.
So now it handles good. So that's all the repairs we did in Texas. And then off we went. And it never missed a beat after that.
No, it ran good. We didn't have to stop anywhere for problems. We stopped frequently.
So the plan, short-term plans.
Hi, Rich. Welcome to the stream. Yes, we enjoyed. We didn't stop for barbecue on the way back because it was 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it wasn't even that late, was it?
One-Eyed Cat is here. Welcome to the stream.
So we're
talking about the car that we just brought home from Texas.
So mostly I followed Kim for the most part. She stayed up ahead of me, and we just 65 miles an hour. That's, it's a 200 cubic inch 6, so it cruised along real nice like that. Transmission shifts real well. So my plan right now is to drive it. The window on the driver's side has a piece of plexiglass in there, but he has a new window in the back seat. So we're gonna put the window in it and make that work. The window on the passenger side is
It is an older car.
So there's probably some bushing or something in there.
It was garage kept. We're pretty sure that's original paint.
So we're gonna have to do that. Fix that. Pull the door cards
Turbo
off.
Tom, welcome to the stream. Mike, welcome to the stream. Mexican Spec asked, did you do donuts in the parking lot?
No, I wouldn't.
No, we didn't eat donuts. We didn't do donuts. We did have some bread, though. You cheated on your bread.
I'm not.
Diabetic.
Well, yes and no. There's something that exit 7 where the Denny's is. Every time I come out of there, there's birds all over picking up scraps. So I brought my bread out, some of my bread from my sandwich, and I fed the birds with it. So I was good about some of the bread, gave it to the birds instead of eating it. And we kind of had fun doing that. No,
You're just scene for scene telling them what the video's about.
So well, a lot of people are going to see this video. They get a preview. So the car, no, I'm not treating it like that. I'm not doing donuts with the
yeah, I don't know. You know what? I didn't drive it yet. Did you ever really put your foot in it to see what it would do?
I did, and it downshifted. Yeah, like going up an on-ramp or something, stuck my foot in it, downshifted and came up, shifted and shifted.
Yeah. It drives like a car.
That transmission drives like you'd expect a new C4 to behave.
What did we figure out too? The rear end ratio is like
we don't know
3.
We don't.
So
know.
it's not like it's not gonna roast the tires very well with a 200cc engine.
200cc. I hope it's bigger than that.
200 cubic inch engine. That's what I meant.
It's a 3.3 liter for those of you that do liters.
Yeah, we wanted to get it home before we found any weak points. It has some weak points that we discovered on the way home. We have some stuff to do, like the brakes. We didn't look too hard at the brakes.
Dean says it's 2.73.
It might be, Dean.
It could be.
But he was saying that it was winding up pretty good on the highway, so we think it might be the 3.
Grease Belly Garage. Good evening. Have we seen Grease Belly Garage before?
No. Welcome to the stream, Grease Belly Garage.
So we had 625 miles.
85 horsepower.
Yeah, that's the net. When they were rating it in gross horsepower, or brake horsepower, they were like 115 or 120 or something. That 200 is no 3,300. It sure is. Or 3.3 liter is 200, I think. Where was I at? I got distracted. Oh, you've been on UTG. Okay, well, it's good to see you here. So maybe you remember me from UTG, because I was on UTG for, I don't know, like a year and a half. I did lives with him, and then I had to go back to work. And by the time I got back, of course, he was doing other things. So I ended up not being on lives with him anymore, and we started doing our own thing.
We like Uncle Tony's, but not sponsored.
Well, the thing with Uncle Tony
he doesn't sponsor us.
Uncle Tony's.
He did it one time. He said lots of great things about it.
He's an hour and 45 minutes from here, so it's it's out of position.
And Tony sort of decided that he didn't want to make it such a big production. He was sort of shutting down the whole global headquarters when we.
Right, he moved from his big headquarters to a smaller shop, and I don't know. It just. I mean, we're still friends. I can go down there anytime, but anyway. So this car, we had over 600 miles to drive, so I wasn't going to beat the crap out of it. But yeah, I got on enough to make sure the transmission worked.
And I made him keep up. Sometimes I was going almost 80.
Well, there were times I had it up to 80 miles an hour, and we had these little radios. I don't know where they are. Kim, slow down. I can't keep up with you.
He can keep up. I
can keep up, but there's police, I don't need to be stopped by this Texas State Patrol or Arkansas. Do not want to get stopped by Arkansas. They will not let you go. So,
Mexican spec, I don't know if a V6 necessarily makes more power, but I think that the V6 are a later iteration of engine design, so it performs better for the cubic inch comparison. But I mean, there are inline sixes that run really good. So I just think that this 200 is more of an economy engine from a little while ago, and it's okay.
Don, it feels weird to say I'm a YouTuber because I just work on scars and video scars. Yeah,
Wait, who says that?
That's Levi. Dylan.
You always forget to turn your microphone on. Yeah, microphones are tough.
Oh,
I've
is our microphone? No, what's happened to our mic? We got
it's there. It's
no
there. It's
bar
there.
graph.
It's
Oh
there.
yeah, it's working.
We're loud. They'll let us know if they can't hear
Yeah,
us.
it'd just be our mouths moving and no sound.
Oh, they would let us know real quick.
So, yeah, I always said, I was like a mechanic and aircraft kind of guy my whole life, and then when I'm 69 years old, I become an entertainer. It's like all I'm doing is the same thing I always did, except now Kim goes, "Hey, our goal here is the video, not to get the job done." And it's like, because I forget. I'm looking down here
Yeah,
and
I'm like,
wrenching, and
hello,
she's
you
going,
got to talk to
you got to
me.
look up at the camera because I'm looking at a screw or a bolt or something. Did the air compressor break? No, the air compressor's fine. The surprise was uh, the heater core is disconnected, and he goes, "Yeah, the heater core leaks." But he goes, I got one here for you. It's almost done. You just got to put it in." It's like, oh man, it's like a Fox body with air, and I got to pull the heater box out from under the dash. What is that, like 8.3 hour job that you can't beat the time on it?
I got to go back. Levi's Backyard Performance says, it feels weird to say I'm a YouTuber because I work on cars and video it.
Well, he says scars, but
Well,
which
I knew what he meant.
I thought was better than cars.
But you know what? I've been telling people, and they don't look at me so strange. I say I'm a member of a large car club, and we all work on classic cars, and we make videos about them for YouTube. And people are like, "Oh, you're a member of a club. That's nice."
She said that on a couple of videos, and people just
People respond
to
to that better than just say I make videos about my car for YouTube. People are like, "You what?" They don't get it at all. But if you say I'm a member of a car club or a classic car club, then they're like, "Oh, you're a member of a club." And that seems somehow easier for most people. For non-car people to absorb, yeah.
This is. I mean, the whole No Name
Well, it
Nationals
is.
things is like a
Yeah.
big old car club.
Yeah,
And
but I
we were
didn't
a
think
club.
to tell people to like call it that to people who were like outsiders, and like that makes them understand. So try that.
So let's see what else about the car and the trip. I don't know. The plans with the car right now are to drive it, fix the annoying stuff. It's winter time coming up. It does get cold here. I am gonna have to.
We're gonna have to fix the
I'm
heat,
gonna have to
and we
pull.
definitely need to pull the brakes apart and at least pressure bleed them all out so that they're
Oh,
fresh.
the brake pedal's really low.
The brake fluid was like dark and like slimy
And
looking
it was this
and
much.
like cruddy. Like when you press it, how when you push the pedal, it surges up. There was like cloudy and goopy looking. It was like, oh, no one's ever changed this brake
Grease
fluid.
belly grudge. I actually got recognized a couple weeks ago by an 18-year-old at Starbucks. That was kind of cool. Wow.
Wow,
So
that is really neat.
so
It's a fraternity.
so that was
Maybe.
I knew there was
Maybe.
something else we did right away. The brake pedal's really low and the brake fluid on the front system was really low. So we bought brake fluid and bled the master cylinder, and there was a lot
And
of
it
air
didn't
in
help
there.
at all.
And then we decided that the pedal was low, but it was real consistent. We had good brakes, so we're just going to go for it. So we're going to do a complete brake job on it. We're going to fix the windows. I got to put a heater core in it, but after that, I'm going to drive. It's my daily driver, and I'm just going to drive it for now. We have other projects that we've made commitments to do. The aluminum car. We have to finish Kim's Dart because we
I have
got
a lot to
the
do.
engines ready to put in that. We have my Valiant that we need to finish rebuilding the front end on that, make it into a driver, and then I have plans for that. What else did you have? Oh, you got to put the engine in your. You've got that clone engine you bought that you got to put in your Bronco. I mean, we are loaded up with projects.
Oh,
So this is to replace my Mazda. Remember, it was
that's
my
what he
daily driver.
says.
So it's going to be a daily driver for a little bit. But I'm sure there's a V8 in its future, and or maybe like somebody says, 3.2 barrels. Can you scroll back up? Because
I don't know. Dented Dreams, I enjoyed. I watched your video today.
what
I
was
left
that?
you a comment. They
Let's see
saw
here.
it,
You're
and
going to
I
make a
enjoyed
new
it
intake
quite a bit.
manifold
It's
to
a
use
pretty car.
3.2. See, I've thought about that. Okay, scroll back down. Oh, that's the other surprise. Is that okay? We can scroll back down. It was getting away from me.
We're missing stuff. You guys can
I'm
repeat
sorry.
yourself if you'd like.
It's going pretty fast here. So when he opened up the trunk, and there's a second set of wheel covers in there. I don't know why, but there's two sets of wheel covers for this car. And there's a brand new set of headers for the 6-cylinder, and he has not put them on yet. And he said also,
That'll wake it up a little bit.
he says also, he goes, he told me that he had a new set of struts. And I'm thinking, man, that's good, but I like Gabriel struts just because I like that brand. So I'm thinking, whatever struts are in there, I'm just going to put them on eBay or something and get a set of Gabriels. So when he opens up the trunk, there's a brand new set of Gabriel struts in there.
And Zero's here. Welcome to the stream.
It's Zero. Hey, how you doing?
I only ever see him in Tony's stream.
So I got a brand new set of Gabriel struts in the trunk. I got a brand new set of headers in the trunk for the 6, and then the heater core, a new heater core in there. So there's a lot of parts.
Heater cores.
So anyway, yeah, I don't know. When I saw that set of headers, now it's like maybe I'll do something with the 6.
Maybe.
I don't know. We have
Tommy
a lot of
Hamlin,
projects.
welcome to the stream. Mexican Spec called it out to you. It's a Mercury Zephyr Z7 from 1978. It has about 100,000 miles. We got it from a man in Texas. It was a movie car. We haven't talked about that.
You can, yeah, you tell the story on that.
So, the man that we bought it from was an actor, and he got it from a movie car dealer, someone who collected cars and had relationships with filmmakers. So it was supposed to be, I guess it was supposed to be a movie car, and they named it Chewie, like Chewbacca, because of the brown on brown, and the interior is brown, and they felt that it reminded them of the 70s and Star Wars. Chewbacca sort of, there you go. Oh, you have a picture of Chewbacca already. That's why. And look, there's the yellow line.
The car was named after Chewbacca.
That's
why it's Chewie.
So Chewie is a movie car for a pilot series called Ugly Babies, and I don't think I think it was a TV show, but it never got made. But that's what it was for. So that's why it doesn't have windshield wipers, because they take the windshield wipers off of movie cars so that you could see in the windshield better. So we got to put those back on. And I don't know that there's a whole lot more. Maximum Brown Edition. You better believe it, Olive. It is brown on brown with brown.
So, yeah, it was a fun trip. Oh, let me bring up
We did have a good time, and I rested.
I mean,
that's a good picture
for
the interior.
1978. That is outstanding, and that's what it looks like when you get in it. It's like a new car in there, except for, and I don't think anybody ever smoked in it. It just smells like it should, you know. The seatbelt, trying to plug the seatbelt into that piece that's right there.
It was a little stiff.
Stiff wasn't the word for it. I shot some CRC power lube down in there and worked the seatbelt in and out a couple of times. Now it works fine. And the inertia reel doesn't work, right? There's little stuff like that.
There's a lot of little sticky things. Iceman, it is air conditioned equipped from the factory, but it's not blowing air, and we have not inspected it closely to see what's wrong with it yet.
He had somebody service it, and he was told it needs a new compressor. The compressor leaks. So it's like, okay, I knew that before we even went down there. Okay, so
I mean, on a 40-year-old car with the original air conditioning equipment, you kind of expect that it's going to need some service. That's not too big a deal because we can do the stuff. Now, I would say if we had gone down there with the expectation that this car was ready to go, I think we would have been really upset. But we went with the expectation that it was going to be a soft pitch will it run? Like we knew it would start and drive, but probably need a little bit of maintenance, and that's exactly what it turned out to be. There was no real big surprises. I think we could have got a better deal for it than we did, but it's really hard to buy something that's 12 hours away from you. You know, how do you do that and be sure that you got the best, you know? You try to...
the windshield sticker.
I think the windshield sticker was
I don't think I have it on here, but I think I have it.
I think it expired earlier in the year. Like it had been inspected, but it was out again.
I'm going to do a John Wilburn picture show.
Tecumseh, York, Select Air. Ah, that's, listen to this. See, they know things.
Yeah, see, this is when it expired. Oh, you can't see that.
No, zoom in.
Shit.
Language. Hello.
Oh, yeah, I know. I always have to check that box before I monetize. There's the sticker, Mexican spec.
What's it say? Oh, I'll make us bigger. I'll make us bigger. That will help a little bit. 324.
Yeah, that is the Texas sticker.
Yay.
But
Thank you, Tim. Yes, we came back with the car because we needed more cars. But he's really happy with it. So if that's what it gets us,
38 Racing. All those repairs are good content. And that's what Kim said. Well, we were working on it. Always have a camera, I had the camera going. She really had the camera going.
He gets in a hurry. He's like, we got to do this. It's going to get dark. It's going to get da, 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 da. And I'm like, but we're here to make content too. It has to be content. His Mazda was really not content. No one would want to watch us, do maintenance on a Mazda. But this car is kind of cool. So we're hoping that it is content while we're working.
Oh, and always says something about she borrowed a Fairmont wagon. See, I had a 78 Fairmont wagon for a while, quite a while, years. Had this same interior in it. So as soon as I'm driving this thing, it's like, man, I feel like it just set me back 40 years. There I am driving it, It was perfect. Yeah, it has a Tennessee plate.
It's about 100,000.
Yeah, it has a Tennessee plate now, so it doesn't matter. Yeah,
Tennessee,
yes. Tennessee's easy. You go in, they just want their money. Oh, man, do they want their money? It was like $600 taxes on it, but I just told them the truth, what I paid for it. And I
the heater
got my
core is
plates.
gonna suck.
I got my plates, and so we went down there. I just screwed he put the license plate on for me, had my registration with me and everything. Made a call from there, gave him the VIN on my insurance. So I had insurance, and drove home. It's my car, my insurance is pretty good. What is this? I sell taillights for the Fairmont wagons. Yeah, I wish you sold them for these. I see the Futura taillights I like better than these, and they go right on there. But man, that's $1,000 taillight stuff. If you said you paid $500 for it, they would have believed. No, you know what they did? I told them what I paid for it, and the woman says, "We're not going to accept that. We're going to go by." It's a classic car. We're going to go by what the state of Tennessee says it's worth. I said, you know what? You took my word for it on my Valiant. I paid $100 for the Valiant, and you believed me. And I said, this is what I paid for this. And I said, I didn't even bargain with the guy. I gave him his asking price, and she looked at it and she goes, we're going to accept it. I said, okay. So
38 Racing says, I have a problem thinking, well, I should have videoed that after the fact. Always video it. And if it sucks, then you can just discard it.
How many times do we take something apart and then put it back together with a video?
Sometimes.
Oh, look at your Dougster's here.
There have been times where I'm like, put it back together. We got to video that.
Dougster, I cut up a potato yesterday.
Potato.
And I put it was starting to grow little things, and I planted them all.
Doug the Spud is in the ground.
The spuds are in the ground, yeah.
Lester LeSabre is here. Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you. I feel like I keep interrupting you.
Oh, I feel like I keep interrupting.
Chat is moving. It's rolling. Rolling.
Speaking of the Valiant, I sent you authentic Mexican side marker lights, and now it's parked under 2 trees. Not good.
I know. I told him, why don't we fix the Valiant? He said, no, I want a car to drive as my daily driver.
Right. That Valiant's not a daily driver yet. And you know what? I'm sorry it's parked under trees. Unless you just go up there and bring a big chainsaw and just start cutting. I got a year's worth of work for you to start cutting trees down. We have a lot of trees.
The Valiant it does not hurt the Valiant for it to sit there. It's fine. It's
fine.
And
we can't keep all our cars inside because we just don't have.
Ford. Yeah, it's got like 5 or 6 cylinders.
It's 5 or 6. It's 6 cylinders. It's over there in Ireland. You probably say it's a 3.3. It's 200 cubic inches is what they used to call it then. So it's the middle size engine they put in those cars. Um, that's
Iceman,
fine.
we were aware that we have to pump down the AC before we can remove the heater core, supposedly.
Oh, where's that? Where's that? Where's that?
He up at the top. He
In order
said
to change
service
the heater
note.
core. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a 8.3 hour job. I've done too many of them.
But
I
you know,
hate
we
it.
should investigate what's wrong with the AC before we take the
Okay,
heater core, start
here's
the
what we're
heater core
gonna.
job, so we
Here's
know
what we're
what
gonna
needs
do.
done.
We know it has a bad. The guy that serviced the AC says the compressor's
Straight
bad.
six.
Okay, so we kind of know that. So we're gonna pull that heater box out of there. Urgh, big job. So the system's probably empty because it's leaked out again through the um, seal on the compressor. So we'll pull it all apart. While we've got it apart, we will pressure check the evaporator, and we'll put the new heater core in it. Then we'll put it all back together, and I'll have to get and I'll put the air conditioning all back together. I don't want to leave it open because then bugs go in there and dirt and everything else. So you keep that sealed up. And at some point before spring, we'll put an air conditioning compressor on it and evacuate the system and fill it. But I got to have heat. It's going to be too cold in there this winter.
That car is so small. I feel like a giant when I get into it.
Which car?
Your new car. I get in and I guess get in, and then I'm like sitting down like this to try and my head's hitting the ceiling, and then you have to reach way back to get the seatbelt.
Yeah, it's a 70s car, so
Man,
the seatbelt is like way back there, and I can't reach mine. I got to have the door open and reach back to grab it. It's just 1970s cars, things weren't so convenient yet with the shoulder. I had an 84 midsize Marquis and went through that. It had the 3.8. What a dud of an engine. Boy, it was. Yeah, 3.8 V6. The problem with that was that they blew head gaskets. They're horrible. Okay, so
so
let's see. What's the Dean Stevens down 50 horsepower on what the 2.8 carb Cologne and 3-liter Essex V6 made in 1980, 85 horsepower. Yeah, I don't even care. I mean, it makes a car go good enough. It's a daily driver. It doesn't have to be fast.
it's
Now,
gonna be a daily driver. I don't think it's ready to be a daily driver yet.
next summer, or when we get some of the other projects done, I don't know, maybe I'll build a 351 Windsor for it or something, because that'll bolt in. And, because I had one with a 302 in it that was the same exact car as this, only it was a 79, and had a 302 in it that I built, and that thing got with the program. Well, then the rear end starts to break. but
Yeah, but you're not gonna trounce on it like you did when you were younger.
who knows?
Iceman wants to know if this sounds like the Fords with the clutch fan when it starts, like an airplane taking off.
Doesn't have a clutch fan.
It does as a solid fan? I don't remember really.
Um,
Um
see if I have a picture of that. I think I do. Yeah, see, it's that kind of fan.
Oh, that's right, it's a solid fan. Okay. There you go.
Yep. So, hey, look, the battery's in. Oh no, it's in the same way.
Oh, that's before we fixed the
Yeah, and that's when the heater core was still hooked up.
Oh,
It's an
that's
old
one
picture.
of his pictures.
That's
not
one of
your
his
picture.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, never too many 3.3-liter powered cars over here. But I have no doubt Ford would have used the engine in something here. Yeah, it's an inline six that they used a lot. A lot of these had the inline six.
The crazy thing about this engine, right, is the intake manifold is part of the cylinder head. You cannot unbolt it. It's part of the casting.
It's got an intake about this big for the carburetor. It's like, but you can machine that off, and there's a thing that somebody made that makes three 1 barrels. I don't know if I want to do all that. I don't know. It's It's just a nice driver right now.
Yeah, it's
It's
okay.
not going to win any speed contests, but it drives fine, you know.
All of the vacuum hoses were missing. All of them
Oh
were.
yeah.
That's not true though. The one that
Well,
goes there's one that goes to the transmission and one that goes to the like heater controls, and those seem to be in place, but a lot of
all
the vacuum hoses were missing or
all
improperly routed.
all the heater controls work, and when you move everything, you hear it under there. You can hear everything moving under there. So there's vacuum to the controls under the dash, and that all works well. What didn't work well was somebody had rerouted some vacuum lines and had the vacuum advance hooked up to something that didn't do anything.
Nothing.
Kim changed that, and that made a difference. All of a sudden, it had vacuum advance again. So, yeah. Okay, so we have done a lot on this. Hey, there's Tavo. Hey, Tavo, get to see the car we bought. I don't know if you got to see it or not.
Iceman says, "Don't
Whoops.
those heads with the integrated manifold like to get cracks?" I think they can get cracks. Yeah, you have
I
to be
don't.
careful to inspect them,
I
but
know.
it's not running. It's not running problematically. It really is running okay right now.
Thing runs great.
Yeah, so I think we're probably okay right now.
So now that we're covered like a lot of this,
Boy, did we! Thanks
I'm
everybody for asking about the new
putting
car.
up with me talking about this car for so long.
Yeah,
I want
it's
to.
home. Took us
Yeah,
3 days to drive back because I need brakes. But I mean,
we
you know,
didn't take
to
3 days
stop
to
and
get back. Well, yeah, I guess
we picked up the car one day and
yeah,
then we
but then we
stayed
just
overnight.
then we
Yeah, we
stayed
only drove
overnight right away. Yeah.
yeah, like 60 miles the first day after picking the car up. But we spent the whole afternoon fixing little things before we drove, so that's part of getting it home.
Okay, so now I'm going to move on to
We're moving on to cars from 1959.
1959, and
So, Johnny C, welcome to the stream. Tavo, welcome to the stream. We were talking about the new car. Here's a picture of it before
okay,
he takes it away. But we are pivoting now, I think, after 46 minutes of talking about everything and anything, to the year 1959. And we're going to talk about automotive stuff and automotive adjacent things. Based on your comments and emails, we're going to discuss automotive stuff from 1959 because this is something that we've decided
I
we're going to do most weeks is pick a year.
I cannot zoom in on that. That's a 59 DeSoto.
Okay,
Picture
I can
sent in
zoom in on
by
it. Oh,
Kim needs brakes or brakes. Yeah, both.
right.
This is a this is from Buddy Carfano.
Caravan. Oh, yes.
He sent in down here. A Zephyr was a stodgy British family car, oddly replaced by a new model called Granada. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Um, okay, I don't know what all's going on there. Okay, so this was sent in by Buddy Carfano, and then I'm going to. I got a lot of emails here from people, so um, I'm going to be putting these up and taking them back down, and then the base picture behind will be the Ford that I bought, or Mercury.
And it has a Duraspark. We looked at it.
Oh God, she noticed something that's
All the
scary.
epoxy was drained out of the Duraspark, but it's still working.
See, and Buddy Carfano brought in a picture of a car that's very similar to the one I had on the. In fact, it's almost the same thing, but it's a convertible. Just need the 78, and then it's easier. Yeah, I don't know. This car, the 78 Zephyr that I have, you open up the hood and it's inline six. You can see dirt and grass and stuff on the underneath the car. You could just, it's simple. It doesn't look like the new cars where it's just like this electronic maze of crap.
Yeah, Duraspark is a
It's
very
just
simple
simple.
system, and the vacuum system has a couple of things that are not very complicated, and they've already deleted the air pump system. It was already removed. We're probably not going to be able to put it back because we're going to probably upgrade to a bigger motor at some point. So there's no reason to mess with that stuff. I mean, it's pretty easy to work on. You know, there's a lot of little nitpicky things that we're going to want to get worked out so that when we're using it on a regular basis, it's more enjoyable.
Mexican spec says that's an Eldorado. I don't know how to pronounce it. It always says
Biarritz?
Biarritz. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that
Convertible.
right. Convertible.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what it looks like. I remember I was I was 5 years old, 1959, and I thought they looked like rocket ships, and it was just that was. I mean, 59 was the year. Those rocket ships, the Chevrolets, the big bat wings, and every car in 59 was just something. Aussie Falcon to the head to bolt on that, bolted on intake. Yeah, we'd have to get. I looked at that. I noticed there's some Australian heads and things that are available for that engine, but
Really?
I don't know if
See,
I want to
yeah,
go that
the
far.
expense for something like that, we can just upgrade to a stock engine that's about a
Well, okay,
third bigger.
me just dreaming,
302.
me dreaming about what I want. What would I love to do to this car? Get a wrecked Mustang GT that has a 8.8 rear end with 5 lugs. Put the 5 lug hubs on the front. Uh, then I got a strong rear end under it, and build a 351 Windsor or a Cleaver engine for it. I mean, that would be a really fun car, but I don't know. I mean, I got to stay within my budget.
And we have to have a daily driver in service before we take this one all apart.
Dean Stevenson, potting mix, Ford's Black Scott. Yeah, it's all drained down underneath it now.
Start looking at Copart. Yeah. Yeah, and Facebook Marketplace. There's cars. We've already seen cars come through, but we just want to take a little bit of time to get familiar with it and decide where we want to go. I did notice that it has the four lug wheels, so we might want to upgrade the axles and stuff like this.
Okay, so now I'm going to.
And we have 302s in Tennessee. Going to Texas for a motor is not economically viable. And it is nice stock. I mean, just for driving around, it's fine.
Okay, then Tavo sent some pictures, which I have just.
I didn't get to talk about what we did today. Can I do that while you're looking for pictures?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just trying to get set up here.
So we got a knock on the door this morning about 10 o'clock. And across the street, up the ways, a couple doors up, they're getting some trees cut down, and the landscapers come over and said, "Did you call and say we're looking for wood?" And we were like, "Yeah." And so I got my green farm truck running. It's a Dodge 1500, and we took that up there, and they loaded it up like 3 times, and then they brought a dump trailer down. So we have like a whole year, maybe more, worth of wood. It's green. We can't burn it this year, probably next year, but we got all of next year's wood in a big pile in the front yard right now, which is great. And yeah, and I got to drive around in a green farm truck. It's a 94 Dodge, and it's got a 318, and it runs really good. And I haven't, honestly, back and forth, 2 doors down is the furthest that I've driven it since I've owned it. And I've owned it since it was like the first vehicle I bought, I think, when I got here to Tennessee. Might have been.
See,
This is my first revival.
Tommy Hamlet says, "Ooh, for
What's up?
crying out loud, preserve it as standard."
Maybe,
Okay,
yeah.
here's the deal. I had one of these that was the Ford Futura, which is same exact car as the Mercury, just different trim. And my Futura had a 4-cylinder in it. I pulled it out and I put a 302 in it, which these cars came with the 4-cylinder, this 6-cylinder, and a 302. So it's just I did it in one day. It was a bolt in. I had the engine, put the engine together, but I installed it in one day, and it just drove like a perfectly stock car. So that's the kind of thing I do. I'm not going to hack it all up. You put a 302 in this, it's a bolt in, and of course a 351 Windsor.
What about a Coyote swap?
No. So anyway, I'm not going to hack it all up. If I do anything to it, it's going to be pretty much.
It will be well planned ahead of time. Make sure we do a nice job with it. But we have a bunch of other projects to do first anyway. So now it's just make it work.
So right now.
What is that? A Chrysler.
Tavo sent this. This is a 1959 Chrysler.
Thank you for sending us pictures,
from
Tavo.
Australia.
When did he send those pictures?
Well, sometime during the week, because we said 59, so a lot of people sent in 59.
I award you a point for sending pictures this week, Tavo. Thank you very much. Who else has sent pictures that
Well,
we've looked at already today?
Yeah, you didn't give anybody else points that had.
Well, which ones did we look at so far?
We looked at Buddy Carfano sent in.
Buddy, you also get a point.
The 59 DeSoto and 59 Cadillac. Okay, now we're up to Tavo with his.
Okay.
These 59s, which are okay. There's the front of it.
That's pretty neat. I like the chrome.
You know, and that's the other thing. If I put a 302 in that or a 351 and drive it for a while, I could put the 6-cylinder right back in it. It'd be fine. I'm not gonna hack
we
it
could
up.
do other things with the
I'm not
6-cylinder.
6 in a row, ready to tow. Ready to tow. Okay, there. Look at that. It looks.
Mike is silly.
It looks like a 56 Plymouth. That's a 59
Hold
Chrysler.
on. I gotta make this a little smaller. Hold on. Sorry, everybody. I'll fix it here. I'm fixing it.
Okay, this is a 59 Chrysler Royale in Australia, and it's got the same taillights as a 56 Plymouth and the little fins, but then they tacked a big fin on top of the little fin. And then in the back, where the backup lights normally are, those are red or amber or something. So it's really weird. It's the back of like a 56 Plymouth and then the front of like a 53 or 4 Plymouth. And then the front end's completely different. It's a Australian car. No white reverse lights. And then this is a 59 Wayfarer, which is a Ute. Look at that. But it's kind of like it's a mismatch of everything we had here. 56 Plymouth. The grill's completely different. The roof is like a 54. The windshield.
That's an unusual body style.
On a 53 to 54 body shell. Yeah. Satavo says that. And then from the back, where's my cursor? My cursor's missing. Here it is. Yeah, look at that. And that's another thing they did on the Utes down there is they put the little tie-down hooks along the side, outside of the bed, which I never saw them do that here. And then the tailgate's like a 54 station wagon. Man, look at that thing. We never had those here.
Pretty neat.
That'd be really interesting.
Can you ever have too many fins on a car? I don't think so.
Let's see, they did that same thing.
I'm sure there could be.
This, I'm going to bring it back. My cursor's somewhere around here. There. That, Studebaker did that, added on fin on a fin. They did it on the Packard Bakers and the Studebakers in the 57s and 8s. Oh, it says I judge fins on a case-by-case basis, I guess.
I think you could overdo it with fins. I think it could happen. It's possible.
So, okay, so now we've got that. Now I've got to go back to, I've got to download some more.
Parts bin special, Tavo says.
What's this? Buddy Carfano sent something else. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, this isn't from 59. Oh. Who was it? Somebody that comes in here. I know who it was. I think it was Barrows. Bought a Studebaker wagon that has the top. Is it this one? But anyway, Buddy Carfano says he'd never seen one of these. Oh, come on. This is somebody short.
It's a Studebaker Thunderbolt.
But I want to. It's a 64 Studebaker. I don't know why it came in with all our 59 stuff, just because he's interested, I guess. Here it is. Maybe it'll show the back. You see it's almost there, maybe. Seems like a long short. See that top of that wagon. See that? The wagon opens up so you can put like stuff back there. Anyway, he says he'd never seen one. He sent that. So I decided to show it. So let's go back to my inbox of everything else. I also sent 59 Holden last night. Okay, that is, yeah, that's up next, Tavo. I've got a lot of stuff here. Okay, we're going to download those two pictures. These are from, again, from Tavo. Takes me a minute because I'm, oh, look at that. That looks very much like what was that German car that looked
Is
like
it a
that?
59?
He says that is a 59 Holden. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. It's a wagon, an FB Holden wagon, and then there's an FB Holden sedan. You guys got all the real different stuff. A mauve mobile. I like that wagon. Okay, Kim, you're gonna have to take care of the chat.
Okay.
And while I'm looking for more pictures here, sorry, I'm looking through my email because there's other emails here.
JB said, then GMC had it on the 2004-5 Envoy, and they said, we've never seen anything like it before. Right, because they don't know any history. I'm learning history. I don't know a lot about vehicles from 1959. So this is educational for me, you know?
So, a bunch of pictures here from 38 Racing that I'm going to pull up real soon here.
Thank you, Ray.
And this one.
You get a point for sending us stuff?
Look at that. New distinctive styling, and look at the logo there with the batwing fins.
Very cool.
4 new series, 15 glamorous models, new magic mirror finish, new visibility. Yeah, and they had lots of window area. Ford Anglia was like a fin rear end semi-American UK style little car. Original design for women. Unique odd styling by Ford. But you don't need to use them all. Oh, I'm going to use them all. That's some good stuff here. Oh. Yeah, first year for the El Camino. Oops, why didn't that move?
59?
Yeah, I'm trying to move that up. It's good enough, I guess. Yeah, you might be able to move that over. Yeah, you can move it over. She has some control. I have some control.
Yes.
They were all well behind the times that Holden had to compete against the much more modern-looking Falcon 60 to 62. Lester LeSabre. 50s cars had happy colors.
Pastels. They were nice.
I always liked that. You know, in 1968, they came out. Ford had a whole bunch of cars that were Mustangs, all bright colors. I remember at night one time driving by the Ford lot, and my father goes, "Look at that." He goes, "I really like those bright colors." And they did this whole bunch of Mustangs that were bright colors one year. Just goes to show there's nothing new in automotive fuel injection. Had it in the 50s, disc brakes. Cord had them then in the 30s. You know who else had disc brakes was that little man. Why can't I pull up names? Crosley. The Crosley had disc brakes. That little goofy little Crosley had disc brakes. Cord had them in the 30s. Onboard computer. Duesenberg had them in the late 20s. Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Mexican Spec says you had to question that, Kim. Yes, I don't know. Part of being smart is being able to say when you don't know. Okay. I don't know anything about cars from the 50s. I don't. I just don't.
Well, and I do because I was there.
They all kind of look like old cars. I'm learning.
There's a 59 Nomad.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's
Is that Didi Speech Up? Didi Speech Up? Didi Speech Up?
Well, the 55 through 7 Nomad was a kind of a classic design. Everybody remembers as the Nomad. But the Nomad went on as a Chevrolet station wagon for many years. And it just was not that 55 through 7 car that everybody liked so much.
I did not do my homework. We were on the road traveling, and then today was very busy with firewood. And then the day before, I was working on the garage. What did we do the day before? Something important. I don't remember what, though.
We cleaned the garage.
Oh, we unloaded all the tools that we had taken along the trip, and then I built a special new tool.
Oh, she built something so cool. But we did video on it, so should I
new video in the pipe
should I say anything that's
You can tell them if you want, but we're supposed to talk about cars.
I know, but we talk about everything we do.
Yeah, you can.
You know what she did when she went out and bought? You went out and bought something. What was it? You bought. Not that.
Oh, okay.
You bought something else, and then that came with it. What were you buying? You went out to buy something.
No, I went out and got that specifically. I went out and made a special trip with that.
Oh, I thought you went out and bought something else, and the guy had that as well, and you bought that. Okay. Kim went out and bought an engine hoist. I already have an engine hoist.
We do.
But she bought one that was used, but it was used like this much.
Brand new.
It was brand new. It's nice.
Yeah.
We have a tow dolly. So she bought the engine hoist, and yesterday, or day before, she combined the engine hoist and the tow dolly.
It's like a mashup.
Into one tool. So now you can tow the tow dolly somewhere, and it's got this arm that sticks out, and you can lift engines up out of cars anywhere you can take a tow dolly. Because you know an engine hoist has little tiny wheels, and you can't roll it in the dirt or anything.
No, like I spilled that one over.
We had a big old accident out in the yard trying to lift an engine and tipped over the engine hoist. Well, now we have an engine hoist that's attached to a tow dolly. So you can, and it's wide, big. They can't even see my hands how wide. As wide as a tow dolly, but it's an engine hoist. So we can pick up engines in the yard and just tow them around.
Which is good because there's not enough room in the garage for all of the engines.
We can pick up anything heavy with that tool.
I'm probably going to put the replacement engine in the Bronco 2 with the tow dolly hoist. So we're going to give it a test out before too long.
So we
Dougster Wolverine Garage says the Duesenberg computer was driven by the speedometer and it would remind you to do maintenance on your doozy by miles covered. Fascinating for the era. That is pretty neat. You said that was in the 20s?
You know where I just saw that was I can't pull things up. Jay, what's his name? That has the YouTube channel. What It's Like. He just did, or I don't know if he did. I got binge watching his channel, and What It's Like. And he always says at the end of his video, he always goes, "It's silly," and I didn't like it at first, but now I've gotten used to it. Toodaloo. He always says that, so you may have seen this guy before. So I just watched one about that on a Duesenberg thing. So anyway, this is also obviously a top of a 59 El Camino on a thing that's 59 Chevy hauler that is something that 38 Racing sent us.
Norm Holtkamp? What's the car that's on the back of it?
Must be something from 59ish. I don't know. I can zoom in further.
That looks like one of those fancy cars. I don't know what they're called.
I like that car.
Speed racer.
Look, imagine driving that when you steer like this. Look where the front wheels are. You're gonna move sideways. Like, you ever driven something with wheels way back, like a bus like that, and the front of the bus moves sideways? I've driven buses, like an army bus, where the front wheels are way back.
You think that was front-wheel drive?
I doubt it. No, the engine's probably right under about where the grill of that. The engine's probably right over top of the wheels with a drive shaft. Look at how short the wheelbase is This would be a weird thing to drive, man.
Yeah, it would.
But I bet it'd turn real tight in a parking lot. Yeah, I remember Nomads. Nomads were that name was around on the Malibu wagons way into the 70s. Um, yeah, it looks like Corvair tail or headlights. It sure does. Looks like first gen Corvair. Kim, can you keep up with this? Because
Yeah.
all of a sudden you got really quiet, and I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm a little sketchy. Okay. They were talking about nomads, a lot about nomads. People love the nomads. And they are pretty cool. I like Dee Speed Shop. He has that nomad. Pretty nice. The two-door nomad. Very nice. Um, Mexican Spec has returned because his stupid computer turned off. It just needed a break, Mexican Spec. What can you do?
I hate it when computers just turn off for the
Oh,
fun
he
of
gets
it.
so upset when his computer doesn't cooperate. I hear him in the other room yelling and
You
banging
gotta,
things.
you gotta yell at the computer when it
Ooh,
messes up.
does he get mad?
I got mad at it last night. I moved, I moved a chunk of files like whooped over like this, and it started, and then it stopped, and it just crashed. And it's like no. So I got it all going again, and then I looked, and it was I don't know, probably 400 or 500 files that I grabbed, and it moved some of them. But
Your
then,
first
but
mistake
it
was
didn't
grabbing
move.
that many.
But then it didn't move them in the same order they were in. So I had to go through one by one and fix it. And it turned out like a 3 second job into a 3 hour job. Yeah, and I got mad at the computer.
Blue Grit, welcome to the stream. Yes.
Where's Blue Grip? Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah. He said Corvair headlights. Okay, so look at this. That's a bunch of 59 Chevys, a pickup, and
Oh, it's a dealer hauler.
dealer hall.
You
Yeah,
think
and
those
look
are
at
all
how,
brand new cars?
yes, and look at how they used to be. The trucks were not huge semi trucks like they are today. They're those trucks, whatever that is, like a 700 or something series truck.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember those when I was a kid. Now they're all big semi trucks.
The thing that amazes me is that car is right on top of the cab of that truck. Like on top the roof. Like wow. Okay.
Tavo says, I know that experience. I used to build buses. I had to drive them. Yeah, they used to put the wheels way back, like on the army buses. Look at an
Oh,
old
I
army
remember those,
bus,
yeah.
and the wheels they're probably way back. I don't know, but you drive one and it's like the thing.
Iceman is heading out early. Have an enjoyable holiday weekend. Thank you. You as well. Everyone, make sure
Oh,
they do.
yes.
And thank you for being here, Iceman. We hope to see you again soon. Sorry you have to cut out early.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's common.
That trailer looks like all of Mortsky's future projects. Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, it could be.
Maybe.
Yeah, you wonder where those all ended up. Man, I remember I was a little kid and we were going somewhere, the whole family in the car, and there was a junkyard, and all these cars were all stacked up in a junkyard.
Be right
And as we're going by, this must have been like 1961 or something, 62, and it was a 59 Chevy piled it was like a 2-year-old car. Look, Mom, Dad, look, there's a 59 Chevy in the junkyard already. My mother says, you'll see brand new cars in the junkyard because people wreck them. The race car is a cheetah. That was a cheetah? I don't think that was a cheetah. I have cheetahs. Maybe it was an early cheetah. Where is it? I'm going to start trying to take these down so I can. That's a cheetah? I don't know. I got pictures of cheetahs. I didn't know that's what that was. Okay. Let's see if I can find my cursor. There are more 59 Chevys here. I'll bring this up. Yeah, there's a bunch of 59 Chevys. Wow. Yeah, that was a good year, wasn't it? And a Corvette, which is also a 59 Chevy. Man. Oh, yeah, now they haul car trailers like that with pickups. I'm nervous passing those things because you'll see like a 1-ton dually pickup with like 3 or 4 cars and they're way up in the air, and then it's a car hauler, and the front car is like way up in the air. It looks like something that'll flip over. Yeah, somewhere here. I think I have pictures of the cheetah.
Did they figure out what that car on the hauler was?
Somebody thinks it's a cheetah, but I think it's not.
They're big pickups, though, Tim. Lotus.
Yeah, but they're still
Oh, it
scary.
might have been a Lotus. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
I have somewhere here. Now that we're not in 59 for a couple minutes.
Why are we out of 59?
Oh, I just saw another
Sorry for
59
eating.
that I want to show. This is a Boyd Coddington car. That's a 59 that he redid. Because I'm looking for
Looks like the Batmobile.
I'm looking for a cheetah. Oh, where's the cheetah? Thought I had pictures of a cheetah, but now
We need ads like this again? Oh, there was an advertisement that you pulled up.
oh, here, let me get rid of this because it was a picture that was pretty good. That one. That's one that
Wholesome.
that's one that 38 Racing sent.
Well, they had a lot of different models that year.
GBI, I hate that car. He destroyed a gorgeous Biscayne to build that car. Yeah, I don't know.
Some cars have to die.
He did a nice job on it, but yeah, I mean, it's completely. That car is a lot more modified than you think it is because they moved the firewall back and they moved so much on that car.
38 Racing, you say it's called the Cheetah Moon. I will look it up and see if I can find a picture of it.
Cheetah Moon, because I'm looking for the other cheetah. Then I wasn't aware of that. Oh, I don't know where it is. I may not be able to find it quickly. Oh, I'm usually good at finding this stuff, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. And here I am spending a lot of time on this.
Oh, that sure does look like the Cheetah Moon.
Oh, there you go. And it's even got the hauler. You even got the picture of the hauler there. So yeah, you're probably right. It probably is a cheetah.
Transporter. And every picture I see with it has a different car on it. So
Oh, but when you pulled it up, that's what it. Okay, well, I'm going to get out of this and go back to the cars that are that we're looking at for
interesting.
59. JB has pictures he sent. Hey, you giving JB any points?
JB.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Well, because he should get a few points for finding that car for me. He found that car in Texas for me.
Okay. I think that deserves 3 points. JB, if you'd have haggled a better price for you, I'd have given you more points. But I think 3. Do you think 3 is enough? 4. You get 4. I'll give you 4.
Where? Can't find my cursor. It's like elusive. Okay, here we go. Found the cursor.
Points are for the live, though? Well, he told us in the live about the car.
Okay, so here's a 59 Nomad. Oh, you've brought this up. Okay, so I'm talking about a picture that didn't even up there.
There it is. Or I'm make it smaller.
Okay, so there's a 59 Nomad. I remember those. That's just such a nice car. I remember those things new. I had a friend that his parents had a 60 Chevy, which is very similar. 60 Chevy wagon. Of course, it had the 60 fins and taillights, but we rode all over in that thing.
My last car was binary load lifters, very similar to your moisture evaporators.
JB gets SAE cred.
Okay. Does anybody know what the binary load lifters and why their similarity to moisture evaporators, what that's from? And why that is relevant to the new car that we just got?
I like
I
what
like
they
what
did.
the white.
They did with the white. I'm not sure what he means. This
I think maybe the last picture.
the last picture was where it's
Yeah.
where it's a two-tone like that. Yeah, that was two-tones were so common.
That picture makes it look really shiny.
Well, it probably was. Look at and that's when they still had wide white walls. People put wide white walls on cars in the 60s and it looked stupid because in 61, wide white walls were gone. 60, they were still there. 61, they went to a stripe. And I was really disappointed in that in 61, but by 62 or 3, then the wide white walls looked dumb, you know.
Olive, you get 2 points. It is a movie quote, but it's because our new car's name is Chewie, which is because in reference to Chewbacca, which was also from that movie.
So I never would have named a car Chewy.
Yes,
But now
Technobabble.
that car, its name is Chewy, so it's like I really shouldn't change it.
I don't think we should. I think we should
So
keep with the Chewy.
people, oh man, he just sent an album of photos. I'm gonna have fun. It's gonna take me 10 minutes to download these, Kim.
10 minutes.
You're gonna need to come in here and take care of the chat while I download JB's pictures. He sent 59s from forever.
Are they cool ones?
I don't know. They're
Sounds made up if you ask me. It is made up. It's from a movie.
they're little tiny.
Chris 103 Customs, welcome to the stream. Have we seen Chris?
I'm sure we have. That name looks really familiar. Chris Customs white walls on my 300D. Yeah, I bet. Those are the years that had them.
I think we should lean into the Chewy. I think we should have Chewy channel stickers.
Well, there was a song. I'd want to play it on here, but I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. Probably copyright problems.
We should look into that.
Chewy, 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 chewy. There was a song like that, and
just don't whistle it.
Yeah, well, I didn't sing it to any tune, so that was whoever owns that would be disappointed in the way I sing it, because they will not ever get. How many pictures did he send here? See him? It's 3. It's 23 pictures. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, and now we have 23 pictures to look
I got
at.
a question.
What's your question?
Maybe the chat will know. So, on the green farm truck, I was using the green truck today. I said something about it earlier, but maybe you weren't here. Anyone who's watching, okay? I'm addressing all of the chat in regard to this. It's a 1994 Dodge 1500 pickup truck, and it has power brakes, and I replaced the booster and the master because the master was leaking into the booster and it was all failed. So I replaced it a while back. I did not bleed. I bench bled the master and then stuck it on, and it had enough brakes that I never went back to it. I didn't have anybody with me that day to help bleed, so that's just how it is. And it stops just fine, but...
Pet food company. I still get spam.
Yeah, maybe we can get spam.
I'm going to interrupt for a second. We've been talking about Chewy because of the car. Mm-hmm. Just talking about it. And all of a sudden I get all this spam from the pet food company, Chewy. It's like
they're listening.
They're listening to me. Anyway, go ahead.
They hear you.
Go ahead.
So, when I get out of the truck, I put it in park, get out of the truck, the brake lights stay on because the pedal does not return.
Brake lights are always on.
Yeah, because the pedal does not return well enough to turn the brake light switch off. So, does that mean that something, like, do I need to lengthen the little rod that goes in there so that the pedal gets pushed up more? Or do I just need to adjust the brake light switch? Does anybody know why it would do that? Did anybody listen? Am I talking into oblivion? And you're all just talking about your own things? I think they are. If anybody knows, shout it out about your truck, Kim. Otherwise, let's get back to what we were talking about.
Retired Inspector Bruce. Bruce, and I know Bruce. I. It's been 50 years since we've seen each other, but we knew each other really well. Yeah, we hung out together. Yeah, my early days in the Air Force, his early days in the Air Force. He says, and he's up in the Bay Area in California now. Says a car like your new ride would become a low rider in San Jose, California, especially with a name like Chewy. Chewy, man. Bruce, you and I got to get together sometime. You said you might come out here to Tennessee. I don't know. I don't know if we'd ever be able to make a run out to California. It's a long run. Or maybe we'll meet somewhere, but I'm sure we'd have a good time. You remember up there in Wisconsin, we got on motorcycles, big motorcycles with my cousin and some other guy. You were riding on the back of one. I was riding on the back of the other one. And this is how stupid kids we were. We went around to bars drinking and then getting back on the motorcycles. Oh, what were we thinking? But we had a good time. Oh man, that's 1973. And I just remember it, Bruce. We really had a good time back then.
All right. So Mexican Spect asked, "Is the rod scraping on the steering column?" I'm pretty sure it's not. I was like sort of under there fiddling, and I didn't detect any interference specifically. 38 Racing said, "Kim, can you pull the pedal up enough to shut the lights off?" Yes. But it kind of drops back down and the lights kind of come back on. Except I found that once the truck's in park, if I pump the brakes a couple of times, it builds a little bit of extra pressure and then the pedal returns more and then the brake lights do stay out. And booster is bad. It's a brand new. It's a new booster that I put in 3 months ago. Fluid worn out or master cylinder issue. It's not it's brand new fluid that was bench bled into the thing, so it's not that. Master cylinder issue, well, yeah, it's some kind of issue. Bad brake hoses? No, it's nothing like that. Return spring? There is no return spring. Is there supposed to be a return spring? Is it something that simple?
Maybe that's not. Maybe that pedal's just hanging down there without a return spring.
Well, there isn't a spring. Is there supposed to be a spring? I thought
maybe
the master just pushed it back up.
Bruce says, "I rode the Triumph Trident." See, I don't remember that. See, I rode on the back of a bike that my cousin was riding. And you rode, what, they had another bike for you, or you were on the back of it? I don't remember. Man, I just remember going out, we were riding motorcycles and drinking. How dumb can you be? By today's standard, that's crazy, But Carfanos is a vacuum leak, and that's possible, too, that it's sinking down. See, I brought up
assembly line?
Yeah, who was it? Now I'm lost. Who brought this up? This was JB brought these up. A 59 Chevy being assembled, brand new. How would the master push it back up? It should have a spring maybe inside the back of the booster.
I mean, the master, it has a big spring in it that returns the thing.
I'm sure too new for me. Body drop. Oh, you were on the... Okay, Bruce, you were on the back.
It's too new for me.
See, that's what I remember, Bruce. Yeah, you were on the back, and I was on the back of another bike. I don't know. I don't remember what they were. I'm surprised you remember. You remember what kind of motorcycle you were on? Well, yeah, we rode all over country out behind Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and they were local guys up there. They knew where all the bars were. Well, we were 19. What were you doing in bars drinking? Maybe you could drink. I don't know. Some states were different. You could drink at 18. That's all done now. Man, I remember we just had a hell of a good day.
Everybody remember your answers about the truck. And in 6 months, when I figure it out and get it fixed, you guys, I'll award points to whoever guessed right. Buddy Carafano asked, did the 59 Chevy have an X-frame? What year had the X-frame?
It did. It did. 58. Legal age was 19. Yeah, see, this is Bruce to answer my question. A lot of states were 19. I remember Arizona was 19 because I went down to Arizona and all of a sudden, I could go in a place, burger joint. We could have a beer. And Yeah, that was and when I was in South Dakota as a kid, uh you could buy beer. They called it 3.2 beer. It was like watered down beer when you were 18, but you had to be 21 to buy the real stuff. Because I remember all the college kids there were drinking. I was 11 and 12 years old then, but I remember the college kids were drinking, but it was 3.2 beer. So, yeah. I remember that weekend we were up there, Bruce. God, we had a good time. What it'd be like to be young again. Wish you could have been there. 1973. Just imagine. Okay, let's see here. Uh, yeah, this is another picture from JB.
Thanks so many people for coming in and joining us for the stream tonight. This is great. We're having a good time, and y'all are making great comments and interaction. It's a lot more fun with friends. Gearhead6971, welcome to the stream. Have we seen Gearhead6971 before? I think
Not
that
sure.
might be a new name. Cool.
Well, it's
new
good to have you
peoples.
here.
We're
Look at
making new
this.
friends.
Look at this. Oldsmobile Sales and Service, 1959. And look at those
Wow.
59 Ramblers.
Oh, wow.
I hated those things then.
They look so much older than the
Oh,
Oldsmobiles.
Ramblers were like they were outdated the day they came out. And when as kids, we hated them. That was like the ugliest car in the world. Old people bought them. My father almost bought one of those. It was a used one, and we got in it, and I was riding in it with my father, and I hated that car. And it's like, oh, you aren't really getting. It was a pink Rambler. It's like, you're not going to buy a Rambler, are you? And we drive out of the dealership, and we start driving up the street, and something goes bang, 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 bang in the engine. And he pulls over and stops. And then there was a guy. We walked to a gas station. You knew that guy. He had a '57 Ranchero with a big push bumper on it. Pushed us back to the dealer, and it had a flathead 6 in it, and it broke a valve spring. So he didn't buy that car. Thank God that valve spring broke. I would have been embarrassed to have that car in our driveway. But now looking at it, it's like, that's a pretty cool looking car.
Yeah.
But
Gearhead 6971 made me think of something, reminded me.
Okay.
Speaking of new people in the stream, we hit a milestone today with the channel, or yesterday, or while we were gone. Anyways, in the last couple of days, we hit a milestone with the channel, which is nice. It's not the biggest, most important thing, but we hit 2,000 subscribers, which is really cool.
Thank all you people that have subscribed. A lot
of people have recommended our channel and got us the word out that we're doing stuff, and that helps us a lot. We don't make like money, but we do make like pennies a day, which is cool. Oh, the big money!
We do make money.
Some days we make $1.
We made over $1 today, and we have a good laugh over it. But at the end of the month, it's like $30. So
I mean, well, the money that we made so far, we replaced the computer that's in the garage for streaming.
We did.
It was a couple $100, and so that was like a big deal. We got some super chats that really helped us out, and we appreciate it a lot.
The super chats helped us out, and we got a computer that's a good computer.
It's really encouraging to see growth. I don't think growth for growth's sake seems healthy.
Mexican Spec says he just hit 1,400. I didn't even know you were over 1,000. Well,
that's
good
fantastic.
going. Good going.
And you worked really hard for it. So it's good to see that the hard work is paying off. Because sometimes you see channels like blow up and you don't know why. But when we've been working hard, we've been trying to do interesting content, and we seem to be my channel is growing slowly, but I don't put nearly as much energy into my channel.
But you have put some new videos up that are good.
Yeah.
But I want you to did you see what I'm not paying complete attention?
Go ahead.
What Blue Grit said.
Blue Grit says, Kim, when converting my wife's 65 Mustang to power disc brakes, I had to doctor the flat spot on the rod arm that rides along the brake light switch with a file. Love them Chinese parts. So there is some adjustment to that switch.
I remember working in a brake shop back in the early 70s and messing with that same exact thing with American parts. But I remember that, having to fiddle around with that. And it'd be like 3 people messing with it.
we really didn't have time for me to crawl under there and work it out. I just disconnected the battery so it wouldn't kill the battery again, because it was killing the battery when I didn't notice that the light was on and walked away from it. So it was killing the battery overnight, and then I'd go out and I'm like, why is the battery dead? I just charged this. So it's got a new battery in it and I don't want it to die, so I just disconnect it. But anyways, I'll get a better look at it and I will report back. So thank you for the comments and stuff like that, and I'll be looking into it. We'll see how it comes out. Forming a body line is not easy. Oh no, it is not. Congratulations, Mexican Spec, on your milestone. It feels good to see our channels grow, because I know we all work very.
I
It ain't
remember
easy. It's easier to just do the work than it is to record it and put it out there. And then putting yourself out there for other people to criticize can be very unnerving. People say some
1400.
mean shit.
1400 was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
I don't know about Kim, but 14, because I was stuck around 400. It seemed like forever. And when I hit 1400, I went, Kim, we're 1,000 over where we were stuck, and that felt really good. Of course, 2,000, it's a big number, or a big number for us, so it feels good.
But it feels better when we see new names in the chat, because then we know it's actual people who are actually watching. Just seeing numbers grow, but no real community or name attached to it, kind of feels hollow. So I'm glad that we do see new people many nights.
Greasebelly says he's at 48, 78 or something.
That's awesome.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah, some of these channels that got like 1 million people, it doesn't even seem real.
Man, how long is it going to take before I get to 1 million?
Never. We're never going to get to 1 million. The world's going to end in 18 months. I saw it on YouTube, so I know it's true.
Dougster, I want that Dodge tractor.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
That might be gone.
Is that considered a cab over? I guess it is, yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, because it's up in
not
it's up
quite
in
a
the
cab
air.
over. It's
Yeah,
I forget what they call us. But you know where the engine is in that. It's where it's almost inaccessible.
Yeah,
you got to lean over that
part.
You got to lean over that fender. 38 Racing says it's the interaction that counts. Yep. Okay, so we're in 1959 here. Oh. Oh, I used to have one of those station wagons.
Well, that looks like a fire truck.
I used to have a 59 Ford wagon just like that. Mine was light blue and white.
The one up on top? Yeah, I guess
Yep.
the one wagon is the one on top.
Jim called it a low cab forward.
Grease Belly Garage says, I do it because I love it. No other reason. I love cars and editing. I like entertaining.
She edits more than I do. I struggle with the editing, and it's like, oh, I gotta edit. And I'd rather do like 3 or 4 takes and get the fourth one where I don't have to edit, rather than having to come in here and sit here and edit. And I got one right here that's partially edited. I really need to finish it because it's probably good stuff.
Crash's Roadrunner Garage, welcome to the stream. Your comment is redacted, but
whatever.
I
Okay.
must have probably spelled
You
something
can
wrong.
comment something else. Comments matter more than subscribers. I get a lot of comments that I like. I get a few that I don't like. I learned some. I just did a short. I don't think I put it up yet. Where I learned something from a commenter. I haven't put it up yet. I learned something from a commenter, and I came in and I redid the short
to talk about what he learned,
like an update of what I learned. It was pretty good.
Well,
once in a while, some people are just a-holes, and it's like that irritates me. But I mostly leave them there unless they're really nasty.
I met him because of my YouTube channel, and the connections that I've made and the friends that I've made are they've changed my life. Really changed my life.
How I met her is Uncle Tony
told me about my channel and told him about me.
She's making this supercharger out of an oil pump for a little mini bike, and I'm like, really? So I went and watched it, and when I watched it, see, I'm a sheet metal guy. I built airplanes out of sheet metal for 30 years. I really like sheet metal. So she had a rusty van. Underneath the van, she's got to fix it so it'll pass inspection. And she's got some big pieces of sheet metal, and she's got to bend them up. And she gets some wood, and she makes a sheet metal brake. And so I saw her do that, and all of a sudden I really liked Kim, and then I met her at the No Name Nationals, so it was pretty cool.
Oh, because I made a sheet metal break.
Yeah, and I mean that's when I really started watching you, and then I really wanted to meet you, and then I met you.
Lester
So
LeSabre sends a super chat. Thank you, Lester.
ding 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 ding. I gotta make a ding 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 thing for super chats. Cool.
That's awesome. We will put it to good use. We will
Thank you.
continue towards a new master cylinder.
Mike N says no 59 vets yet. Yes, there was a 59 vet.
Was there?
There was that big circle of cars.
Oh, yeah, but no pictures.
This one, I'll bring it up again, but then I'm
Okay,
going to take
but-
it back down. You see, this is all 59 Chevys, and you see, yeah, point right there.
Right
You got to bring your hand down.
there. Wait,
Yeah.
I go over here. At 11 o'clock.
So that's yeah, I know. That's not
Yeah,
much of
that's
it.
not. That
much
doesn't
of a
really count.
59
I think he's
Corvette.
right. I think we need to see some Corvettes here. Cab forward. Yeah, a lot of the fire trucks were this
Okay, let me find
were
my
this
place
Ford
here.
design.
That's that. Where is that?
Crashes
That's that.
Roadrunner Garage says I always watch but rarely comment. That's
Oh,
okay.
and
Not
the-
everybody has to comment all the time. And some people watch on their like what's that called? Roku TVs. It's a pain in the butt to type on that. So they're just watching it.
And the very next picture I pull up that just happens to be in order is a 59 Corvette.
Wait, the first what that you did what?
Well, I'm just pulling up in the order that I received.
Oh, okay.
And he's saying
The
no
next
59
one.
Corvettes, and
He
then
knew
I
it was
click
coming.
on it, and there it is.
There it is. Boy,
I
that's a
didn't-
grainy picture. Find us a better picture. I'm sure there's modern
Well,
pictures.
see, what I had to do is I had to zoom in on that, because there's the picture.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, I'm sorry.
At the auto show. Very nice.
So here's
What?
some-
Okay, wait. I will give 2 points to anybody can tell us what location that auto show was.
Look at this. Going down the assembly line, 59 Fords. Wow, can you imagine that?
Grease Belly
remember-
Garage, Dougster Wolverine Garage is a lot of fun, and in person, he's a great guy, and we're like super happy that we've got to meet him. He gave us a potato, and I don't understand why, but I don't need to.
That potato has now been cut into sections where there are little shoots coming off of it, and it's all planted. So we're going to see how that does. I watch and listen on the Roku. Type on the phone.
Yeah.
Roku, we stayed in a hotel
Oh yeah.
that had Roku. And one of the complaints that I read in the reviews before we stayed there was that TV was Roku. I'd never watched Roku. Got there, I loved it. There was like one commercial for every show, for one thing. It's really light on the commercials. And what were we watching?
How stuff's made.
How it's made or something.
I know, because it was on all night.
I just left it on. And,
He likes to listen to
oh,
the TV while he
man.
sleeps.
Oh, Dr. Goes here. Chicago Amphitheater. Good evening, Dr. Go.
I don't
How
know.
you
If
doing?
you're right, you get points, but I cannot confirm. If not, Mexican Spec gets the points because he says in America,
Here we go.
which could be true.
This is the place again, isn't it?
Welcome to the stream, Dr. Go. I can't understand how Dougster's only at 260. Dougster, it will come. Keep working at it. Dougster makes
Dougsters?
amusing shorts and
You're-
interesting travel vlogs. He showed us the Dutch windmill. That was pretty cool. I like that. And his wife's Volkswagen. He's got lots of cool content. If you guys haven't checked out Dougster's Wolverine Garage's channel, you should definitely do that.
Okay, for all you professional car guys, I know this is a 59 Cadillac, but I do not know what manufacturer of this.
The
Car
Hearst
is.
conversion.
So there are like 3 or 4 people in
Couple, no?
here that are really into this stuff. JB, Mexican Spec, I know they're into it. Maybe somebody else is, but they'll probably know who made this and whether it's any good or not. Two hacks. Hey Jeff, how you doing? Good to have you here.
Welcome to the stream, Jeff. Also, well,
Oh, and Mrs. Go.
welcome, Mrs. Mr. Dr. Go.
Dr. Go and Mrs. Go is with you. Go good.
Welcome to the stream.
Good evening.
We had a safe trip. We had a good time.
Oh, it says behind it, it's a Superior. Oh, well, I completely missed that.
Oh, it does say Superior.
Where? Did you?
In the letters above it. They're very difficult to read. But
I can't see it.
The contrast is kind of low, but it makes sense
picture.
because there's a hearse and then there's an ambulance over in the corner. So this was the booth for Superior Conversions. Why does my under eye look all...
It's like me. I always have this red thing hanging down like a chicken. I hear it.
Who did the lighting in this place?
You did the lighting, but it's
that's
way
my
better
fault.
than it used to be.
Yeah. Easy to miss. Well, you know, sometimes we just need somebody to point out that we're oblivious. And that's
Flower
okay.
car, too. Just said, glad you had a safe trip. Oh, yeah.
This went better than last time. No one ran us off the road. I was worried the whole time that we were going to get...
People say they got run off the road like somebody edges them over or something. Well, I got run off the road.
No.
This guy really ran me off the road.
Into it.
It was like I'm driving like this, and this guy hit me on an angle about like this at 70 miles an hour. That was like getting run off the road. I had completely out of control, you know. Okay, what is Kim's channel?
Garage.
Oh, Kim Fixes Things.
Kim Fixes Things is my channel. You will find me there.
And this
Fixing things.
is a 59 Lincoln. Look at that old dealership. Oops. I can't make this go up where I want it to, but yeah.
Do you want
that's how dealers used to look when I was a little kid. They were right up against
in town.
They were right up against the sidewalk, and you looked in the showroom there. That's how they looked. Look at that. The radiator works right there. An old-fashioned radiator shop. Wow. I had an old-fashioned radiator shop. Oh, somebody put up... Mexican Spec. Maybe you can put up the... a link to Kim's channel.
And Mexican Specs, I think it is Kim looks for things to fix. I try to fix things. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I fail. And that's okay. That's part of the learning process.
Look at that. That looks like a clay model back before they made the thing. Oh my God. Can you imagine doing that in a clay model? Like in 56 or 7, and
that's
the
wild.
Boss is coming in like, what is this? I've never seen Death Race 2000 somehow. If I'll finally watch it after the state. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
We should watch it. We should watch it because I've never seen it either.
Grease Belly Garage. My wife's name is Kim. She breaks things. So
nice.
A lot of people in here have wives named Kim.
Yes, it's a common wife name.
Oh, and Tim noticed it with a radiator shop in the background. There we go. There's Kim's channel. So, after you can click on it and just have it in another tab, and then watch it when we're all done here. That and one toward the end of this. Oh, here's this.
There's another auto show.
It's the same auto show. It's got the ambulances.
Oh, yes, it is.
And all
a different angle.
Different angle.
Yeah, and you can see in the it does say Superior again up in the above the cars on the upper. It says Superior on the banner up there.
And then there's this.
I've never watched Duel either. I know they're car movies.
This is a 59 Cadillac Flexible. Or not Cadillac, Buick, 59 Buick. Which I always liked 59 Buicks with those headlights like this and then the tail fins like this. I had, when I was a little kid, I had a 59 Buick with a cord that came up and a hand remote control, and you push a button and it'd drive around, and you could have a little steering wheel and you could steer it around. Probably drove my my parents nuts because I drove that thing all over the house. That 59 Buick toy. Oh yeah, look at all the... What are you going to bring up? You're going to bring up oh, somebody's talking about.
Yeah, they were talking about from the movie Duel. There's a
Oh,
needle nose
those are
Peterbilt.
great pictures you are sharing. Oh, JB sent those. JB, I think that was from JB. Oops, that's the wrong button. Yeah, JB,
FLX
JB.
flexible Buick. A friend had a short wheelbase 1960.
Oh, a
Okay.
60. I like 60 Buicks too. The
Okay.
fins are a little more rounded off in 60, but it's the same basic kind of thing. Yeah, we had
We had a lot of people
quite a
send
show
pictures
of
this week.
1959 cars, and this is actually the end. And then I'm gonna bring back.
1959 Caddy clay model, probably weighed 10,000 pounds. Well, I think they probably framed it up before they. It's just not a giant lump of clay.
Yeah,
I,
there's a wood thing called a buck, but I
yeah,
bet that clay is
it's
probably a
heavy.
lot of clay.
Yeah.
And there's my my
There's
newest.
the new car, Dr. Go. We have it
Where's
home
the
now.
where's the picture I wanted
Thank
to
you for the
show?
sub, Grease Belly Garage. I will try to continue to create entertaining content. There is a little bit of depth to my channel. There's a year or two worth of stuff there, so maybe you will find some stuff that entertains you. I hope you will find some stuff that I've done entertaining, because it did all that work, and it would stink if it wasn't entertaining to somebody.
What are you mumbling about? Uh, I'm looking for a
You know
picture
what's
I
really
showed
wild
earlier.
about my channel is I
Here we
get
go.
more views on videos from a year ago than I get on new
Greasebelly. I just
stuff. I
subbed to
don't know
Kim
why.
Fixes Things.
I read that.
Oh, okay.
I
I'm
read it
sorry.
out loud when you were.
I was looking at
I
something
know.
else. I'm sorry. Never be afraid to fail when I make the wooden cab spacers. Final two that are keepers.
I, I,
What
I
is this?
I'll explain it. Dougster
Oh, not
was
cab, carb.
making wooden carb spacers, and I saw
Okay.
I saw the pictures of them as he was making. He made the good ones were number 7 and 8, so he took some revisions. And yeah, you get better with practice. You cannot expect to do things perfectly the first time.
What is this? Kim's channel just popped up randomly, and I binge watched them. Now I am here and glad I am. So you found this
Yeah,
channel because of Kim's channel, and because of that, I own this car now. Because you're the one that found it for me. Pretty cool.
yeah, it all works out. And we have new friends.
Yeah. Uh, that car looks way nicer than the Go-Mobile. Looks like very nice lines, but slightly trimmer, lighter.
I like the Go Mobile a lot.
What's the
I think it's a really
Go-Mobile?
nice car. His car, Dr. Go's car.
That's the Go-Mobile. Okay.
This is smaller. I think the
This
Go Mobile
is
has a little more.
I think the Go-Mobile is a better looking car than this, but it's a big Chrysler product, and this is a Fox Body Ford, which I had a lot of Fox Body Fords way in my past, and man, I was like 5 minutes into driving this, I'm like, man, I felt like I was home again.
He does. He loves it. So if that's what it takes to keep him happy, then
Well,
I'm glad we got
yeah,
it.
and this is
And we
19.
got it home. We drove it all the way home from Texas and didn't have any problems with the motor, transmission, or anything like that. So
1978. Look at the interior. I was just so
it's real
happy to
pretty.
find this because all the other ones I looked at, you can imagine it's rat poo and seats are ripped and everything. And this one was like this, and this no bad smell. It just like a smells like you expect. Nobody ever smoked in it. It's pretty nice. What is Flexible? That's a company that made professional cars and they made buses and all kinds of things like that. And they left the E out, so instead of being flexible, it was flexible. And I used to think that people misspelled it, but no, that's the way they spelled it.
38 Racing says it's good to have some evergreen videos, and I absolutely agree, and I strive to, when I'm editing videos, to try and make them so they, if you find them a year later, they're still relevant. I used to make like update videos, and like a lot of people talked about making videos every day and stuff like that. We don't do as much of that. I try and make videos that are sort of, they encapsulate one project, one idea, from sort of beginning to end, or at least they have like a logical beginning and end, so that they can be evergreen, so people can find them and hopefully do that binging thing where they're like, oh, what's this about?
You're still,
And
you're still drooling on your fox buddy. That's cool.
he loves it.
I see it outside. We walk out on the porch. I look at it down there. It's like, man, there it is. It's in our yard now. I've been looking at pictures for a long time. Uh, all this is I thought they were fixable. Fixable. Look up flexible.
Oh,
Spelled
okay, sure. Yeah, yeah.
spelled FLXIBLE.
I didn't get to. Did I put up the bullnose Peterbilt already?
Oh, maybe you didn't.
There's the bullnose Peterbilt. I looked it up when you mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
It was Dougster.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyways, yeah. On to the next.
I
What am
want
I
you to
looking
look
for
up
now?
flexible, spelled FLXIBLE, and bus. I want you to show the old buses. Yeah, try that. Because they were like really, they were, oh, that wasn't ones I was looking for, but like that one. That's what I remember when I was a kid that said flexible on them. And see the one next
Something
to me?
bad's happening.
See the one next to me that's got that scoop on, it's all round on the back, got that air scoop on the back. I remember seeing
one?
those. Yeah, I remember those things when I was a kid running around. I thought they were so ugly. Now I look at them and go, that is so cool.
38 to 67.
Wow.
That's a cool looking bus.
It's a nice car and it fits you buff. Flexible clipper. Builder buses
And
are
it fits
really
them
round.
height wise. When I get in, I'm like, this car's too small.
Berm blaster. We are in Tennessee. We're in Middle Tennessee, kind of south of Clarksville.
Welcome to the stream, Berm Blaster. I don't know. Have we seen Berm Blaster before?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Welcome to the stream.
Well, if you are new, welcome.
So
Everyone here is nice. We're in a car club called the No Name Nationals. And a lot of the people who are in our stream make YouTube content. So if you like to watch YouTube content about cars, you can go to other people's channels like Dr. Go or Mexican Spec or Dougster's Wolverine Garage or 38 Racing. And you can find all kinds of people who are making content about their cars for everyone's entertainment. And we meet up once a year for a drag race. It's good times.
hey, we were doing, and the thing is, we started doing this a couple of weeks ago. We pick a year and then we show cars from that year.
And viewers send in photos.
Yeah, we don't make it the whole live stream, but we
we
show
do.
some pictures. And well, this one we covered the new car I bought for at least the first half hour of the stream, and then we went to 1959 because we decided to do 59.
Yeah, we pick a year every week for next week.
And so we went to Texas. I bought this online and then went to Texas and got it and drove it back. And I used to have Fox bodies many years ago, and this is one of them that I had years ago. This is a pretty clean car, so I really wanted a Fox body, and I got it.
I was very hesitant at first, but he was excited, and I didn't want to.
I don't think Kim really likes this car a lot.
I didn't want to dash his.
She's a real Mopar person. So but I have Mopars too. I like them all, but I like this. Yeah, you're looking up. Look up 1959 Cena Cruiser because we're doing 59s.
Did they have those in 59?
Oh yeah, I remember that really well. It's right there. There's one, that blue and white one down there. It's right above your head.
Oh, okay.
That one right there.
Wow.
I remember though when I was a kid, that we called those the double-decker Greyhounds, and I never got to ride in one. I always wanted to ride in one, and every time we went anywhere on Greyhound, it was not one of those. So I never got to ride in that and look out the windshield on the top, which I thought would have been so cool. But I knew they had that in 59. So being 1959 night, I'm glad we're showing a 59 bus.
Two Hacks says, I'm not saying yet, but I'm getting something cool this weekend, all thanks to Dougster. Nice, Two Hacks.
Oh, man.
Jeff, we can't wait to see it. Mexican Spec
Jeff
says
is always working on something.
he's a worker.
Man, and it's always cool stuff. We're working on okay stuff. Working on these Valiants and
I mean, we're
darts
getting
and
more stuff going
slant
too.
sixes.
We
and
were really going slow for a while because
he's
it was a
always
big mess.
Jeff's always working on like old fashioned front end dragsters and just cool stuff. And his Thunderbird.
And you know, the nice part about being part of a car community is like I can't buy a new car every week or every month or more than a couple times a year. But I can enjoy that other people I know are getting new cars and turning over projects, and it's exciting, you know? It's relatable. When I see the great big YouTubers, they're just every week a new car. It's like I can't do that. That's not relatable. Who
Yeah,
has that? Who can do that?
we were talking about that earlier. Kim and I were
I mean,
talking
it
about
is
it.
fun, but you can't get new stuff that
And
often.
there's people that have money that buy like new cars, superchargers, big engines,
Yeah.
yeah,
Super paint,
brand new
everything, all
aluminum
the time.
blocks and heads, and it's like, okay,
Dyno pulls.
we can't do that. But then I said to Kim, I said, you know what we do in our little shop might be more relatable because we take something we have, we might buy it, but it's a $200 purchase or a $500 purchase. It's not a $10,000 at a time new pieces for an engine. But I think what we do is more relatable, and God, everything we do works. I mean, it's unusual. We have some. The Subaru was.
I have had some terrible fails. The Subaru was a terrible fail. The
Subaru
white
was,
truck, trying to fix the motor in the white truck was a terrible fail. Although the white truck runs
but it
and drives
runs.
around the yard.
She bought a white Dodge pickup that had a lot of noise in the bottom end. She pulled the. We did videos on it. She pulled the pan off, and it
Oh, it
looked
was
like
terrible.
a gold mine in there, but it wasn't gold. It was
All the
it was
bearings.
bearing pieces that looked
I
like
didn't
gold chips.
didn't pitch a rod though. It was
And
all the
so
bearings were
then,
spun, but it was still going.
then she put new bearings in it, but she polished the crank with a shoelace and some kind of stuff, and she made it work really well.
Yeah.
But the next day I did a video on her. She's running around. She's got shoes on with two different color shoelaces because she used the shoelace out of her shoe that she was wearing.
I needed a shoelace. I didn't feel
Polish
like
the
running in the
crank.
house.
And then the new shoelace was something else. So she got two different color shoelaces on the same pair of shoes. But that's how we do things around here.
Mexican Spec was saying about, what was he saying? He said, what bugs me with the new cars is even the dashboards are the same car to car, make to make. In the 60s, each brand had their style. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to. I mean, but now they have touchscreens on the dash. Isn't that better? I'm being sarcastic. I don't like touchscreens. I don't want a car with a touchscreen. I
You know
mean,
what?
maybe
I
as a
think-
refrigerator.
I think you
Maybe
didn't
to
mind.
drive into town.
I don't think you minded having my old fashioned GPS that was taped on the dashboard.
Yeah, I didn't mind that, but
of
I can
the,
just use my phone for that. But when we had the Mazda, I never even looked at the touchscreen. It meant nothing to me.
We took that off ramp, and I had that GPS taped on the dash of the Jeep, and it said left turn to, or what did it say? It said bait shop, turn left or something.
Bait shop, turn
It
left.
actually said bait shop. We went to the bait shop.
That red car is a short wheelbase flexible. My buddy's
Oh, it is.
car was white, just like that. Okay, cool.
That's that 60 Buick. Oh, look at that. It's got the red and blue lights in the grill.
Oh,
Wow.
it does. Nice.
Whoever can make it should try to go to the big Mopar swap meet in Indianapolis, like
Very early March.
very early March. Very early March in Indianapolis. That could have snow. A few of our community might go, and I plan to go on Friday. 2-day swap, big swap. Oh man.
We
What-
should try and go. We should put it
I'm
on
not
our
taking
calendar.
my car up there.
Definitely
We'll take
remind
the
us,
Jeep. We'll
Doctor
take the
Go,
Jeep.
when the time is coming. Because
We could take
we
the
might
Jeep
take
up
a
there.
van though. But if we take a van, we can get bigger stuff.
We get engines.
Bigger stuff. I don't think we have to bring engines back from Indy. Maybe.
Mexican spec GPS almost got me killed on night. I don't. Oh, one night. I don't trust it. Really?
Oh, I've had them tell me to go right when I should be going left.
Oh,
I've done that. Man, they're dangerous when they start doing that.
You gotta just use it as a suggestion, not as a absolute. I had a GPS in Maryland. My GPS had me taking me around the same block over and over and over when I know this is wrong.
And Olive says touchscreen is okay for navigation, but I don't want to have to use it to control the vehicle at all. I agree. And your computer should not like start the car if the tire pressure is too low and garbage like that. Like just run the engine and the rest of the stuff maybe you can notify me if something's out of whack, but I don't need a computer control every aspect of my
Bruce says never let go of
car.
the steering wheel. Say no to touchscreens.
Oh, I agree on that too.
I don't know. It depends on what it is.
Never
Because
let go.
there's well, I one-handed a lot. Of course, when I'm flying an airplane, I always wanted hand in it. But I do prefer a knob than a touchscreen. I'd much rather. Well, the Mazda had a knob on the console to turn the sound up and down, or I'd go over and go through a menu on the touchscreen. I never did that unless I was sitting still. I just used the knob is so it's just so easy, and just reach over and turn the sound up and down. So I don't know. Uh, and the GPS, I just glance over at it. It's like has an arrow one way or the other and shows a road. It's like kind of like flying, but I don't mind things. You glance at all kinds of things when you're driving. You glance at the rearview mirror. You glance at the speedometer. But when you got to start poking at something, your attention really gets focused on it, and that's bad. Um, I've never actually had GPS in the vehicle. Oh, I've had mine for years and years. I got my first GPS when I was out in Arizona. I had a bunch of points, more points than I could ever use for a hotel, and they sent you a little catalog with stuff you could buy, and I got a GPS. Man, I love that thing. And mostly I use it for coming home. I'll look and I'll just put my home in there and I'll glance over there and it'll be the countdown of miles. And I see like, oh, I've got 1,100 something miles, and pretty soon it's got 1,000. Pretty soon I'm under 1,000 miles. Look. But I'll just be glancing at that number mostly. I know my way, but it's kind of cool having the. Oh, where's this? Mexican said GPS sent me. Oh, it scrolled away.
Through the cartel zone with a Ram Charger, which is something they like to steal, and it traumatized his wife.
Oh,
That's
okay.
really
You can
bad.
scroll
I don't
back.
know. You have to get a special cartel zone thing.
Yeah. Have that in your GPS. It doesn't take you into the cartels.
38 Racing says you can't feel what you're doing in the dark with a touchscreen. Yeah, if the touchscreen goes out and then you can't control things in your car, that stinks.
You don't have to look at a knob. That's right. But you know how I am with the GPS. I'll set it even coming home in town. I know my way. But I just click it there so I can see how far it is till I'm home. And it's just that, it has that miles and I look over there. The other thing my GPS has is it has the what would you call it? Field elevation. I guess they call it elevation. And being a pilot,
Oh, yeah, you like to watch
I
that.
glance over there and see if I'm going uphill or downhill, or sometimes I feel like I'm going uphill and I'll look, elevation doesn't change. I go, man, how come it feels like we're driving uphill? And we're not. Yes, like mine took me into a nasty ghetto
Some of
late at
those
night in
GPSs
Illinois.
do have features where they know to route you around certain areas at like there's certain places where they won't send you. They
But
should be
like,
smart enough to do that.
I used to travel a lot, and especially to places I'd never been, like fly in there, get a rental car, and you know what happens? You get there, it's nighttime, it's raining, it's like, oh, now I gotta get a map and look and try to figure out where the hotel is. Man, a GPS is nice. You just put it in there and leave the sound on, and it'll just tell you, right turn ahead so far, quarter mile, right turn ahead. And I just let it tell me where to drive, and that's pretty nice.
Buddy Carafano says not into auto start and stop on new cars. Yeah, there are cars
Oh,
that
yeah.
do that thing like where they it starts the engine and shuts it off when you come to a stop and stuff like that. I don't think that would be terrible as long as you can turn that feature off if you wanted to not be doing that.
Oh, I see. I used to get. Yeah, I have an old-fashioned Garmin GPS. That's right. I don't like the new ones because the new ones you have to be online and they just want to track you. You know, the old ones were standalone GPS, and I still find old ones on like my GPS will fail, and I have like two or three more that are sitting there in line, and I just transfer all my waypoints over. But they're like you can get them online now, you know, on eBay for like $5 or $10 or something.
Tim says driving big rig, he had a commercial Garmin that showed him low bridges and weight
Oh,
restrictions. That
oh,
sounds really, really useful.
that's good stuff
I
too.
like I like having a GPS. I want my car to run regardless of whether the GPS is working or not. I don't want it to be part of the car. Fine with it being separate from the vehicle. With knobs, you don't have to take your eyes off the road. Well, yeah, once you learn a vehicle, knobs are, I think, very safe and useful.
A lot of people use Waze.
Dougster really likes this bus that I've had up for half an hour. Thank you,
Uh,
Dougster. Wasn't it Dougster who suggested I look it up the flexible stuff?
Me.
Oh, okay. Uh, Mexican Spec says my wife doesn't trust GPS either. Finally, yes.
Well,
Topographic elevation.
you know what I do like about like Google GPS,
I
the
like
Google
it too.
Maps.
Yeah, I
She
like it.
likes that. I like it if there's two of us in the car because then because I don't want to mess with that while I'm driving. I can't mess with the phone while I'm driving. I just go like, you do this. And if I'm in the car by myself, I don't look at that thing unless I'm stopped. But what I do like about Google is if there's a traffic jam and you're stopped, I'll look at the map while I'm stopped and you see a red line, how far the traffic jam is, and then I'm looking for a exit. But I won't mess with it. I never use that while I'm driving. I'll use it only when I'm stopped. But I do like that feature that it shows where the traffic jams are.
JB says I use Waze. It's a good routing. I've heard of Waze. I don't think I've ever used
I
it.
had it once and then I just got rid of it because I don't remember why. I clogged my phone up. I don't know. I
Oh.
guess I just want to try it. But yeah, then I got to mess with the phone. I don't like phones.
38 Racing uses GPS to figure out the miles to Sykeston. Darn right.
Where's
Waze
this? Where's
drives me
this?
nuts. 38 Racing, up near the top. You read down, I'll read the next thing. Grease Belly Garage. Waze
Just
drives
go.
me nuts, Jay, with the speed traps that are never right. Oh, yeah, well, Google Maps is pretty good about accidents and stuff like that. And we just barely missed a really long tie up when we were on our way to Denny's. We were coming back from Texas and we pulled off the exit. And just as we pulled off the exit, we saw there's a big slowdown. Oh, it was construction. And we
Yeah.
looked on Google Maps and we were like, ooh, that's a long tie up. So we ate a nice, relaxing lunch and waited for the
And
tie up to
for
go
those
away.
of you that
It's
drive in
excellent.
Texas or have driven in Texas, you know how the interstates are different. They have service roads on both sides. So you always take an exit onto a service road and always come back on from a service road. So if you are aware of a traffic jam and you take the exit and you just stay on the service road or frontage road, whatever you want to call it, but I think mostly they call it a service road and you just go along, you go past everything, you come back on. That's pretty cool. But at first it's a little odd because it's different than every other state. Most states you take an exit and you come up to a red light or a stop sign or something. In Texas, you got to get used to that service road thing. But we got on one of those things and we exited and just bypassed the whole traffic jam. That was pretty cool. Uh,
Blue Grit Garage says his fingers are old and dry, and he has to poke and swipe over and over again to get the scream to respond, and he guesses his days are numbered. That's silly. You have to improvise, adapt, and overcome. They sell little finger gloves that you can put on that have a little tippy thing, so you can swipe with that. So you can get yourself some of those little finger condoms
don't
that have the
doctors
thing.
have those?
Yeah,
Okay,
little finger
I'm not
condoms
going to
that
talk
have the
about
little stylus tip on them. That's what you need.
it.
Or you could moisturize your fingers, like Mexican Spec says. I love Google Maps, but I ignore most of the little BS turns it tells me to make. Some people like to make the little turns, and some people hate
I
it.
don't.
I like that it gives me the option. Grease Belly Garage
When
says.
we're both going somewhere, I like it. I really like the Google Maps because there's one of us to operate the phone and the other one's driving. But by myself, I'd rather pre-program a GPS and just let it sit there and tell me what to do. I can't
Yeah.
keep up with
Dr.
this.
Go says someone rear-ended my old Jeep years ago. They had a newer car, and because the radiator fluid leaked out, the computer would not let her start the car. We were 3 blocks from her house, but had to call for a tow. Well, make her get her car towed. I mean, I wouldn't want it to. That's one of those things too. You know what the newer cars are going to do too? If they see that you run out of radiator fluid, or you go too fast, or the car gets too hot, or you put the wrong fuel in there, they're going to void your warranty. All that stuff's coming, and I hate it. I'm glad I have newer. I don't have newer cars. I like my old car.
It is so nice having that 1978 car with a six-cylinder in it with everything simple because there's none of that interactive crap. It's just a straightforward car.
Mexican spec says get collagen injections. I don't think you can get collagen injections in the tips of your fingers. Can
Okay,
you?
let's move on from this.
Sorry. I don't have to. Do you know what a collagen injection is?
Can we just, yes.
Oh, okay. No, you don't. Okay.
Oh, says she still avoided having a smartphone. You got to be kidding me. How do you get anything done?
I mean, I ignore my smartphone a lot. A lot. But I'm always glued to my laptop computer,
You know,
so is that any better?
I am not like a kid where I walk along and smash into a telephone pole because I'm looking at my phone, but I use my phone a lot. I mean, I think about days without the phone. How did I get along without this? It's a lot of things I'm interactive with on my phone. Um, they say the wreck cars and just leave them there forever. Let's see. People that drive American cars that have no plates. I can see that happening with Mexico plated car. Now I don't know what that's about. Mexico,
You can't abandon a
You in
plated
Mexico
car
or Canada?
because they'll know who you are.
Well, he'd be Canadian spec if he was in Canada. He's in Mexico.
Mexican spec.
He's been on
Mexican spec.
U.S. and Mexico. He's like both. He's
Put a
in
link
Mexico.
to your channel, and you can also find Mexican spec on Instagram.
Mexican spec. Please
He
do
is a
this.
moderator, and he's here all the. He's.
Please do this. Put up a Instagram link for you because that's where all your cars are listed. For those of you that don't know Mexican spec, he's like a broker. He may own some of the cars, but he's mostly a broker for cars in Mexico that were built in Mexico, mostly built in Mexico, that are mostly like American cars, but built there.
After a certain age, you can import them.
After a certain age, you can bring them into the U.S. and maybe into Canada too. I don't know. I don't know how the Canadian laws are, but he knows how to do all that. And he's been dealing cars his whole life, so he knows how to do all this. And he also sells tail light and turn signal and side marker light lenses, all that kind of stuff. And I've bought things from him. He's a good guy. He always comes through, and he's got good recommendations from people that have bought cars from him. So you can buy like a Fox Body Mustang that was built in Mexico that's legal to bring into the U.S. that doesn't have all the U.S. smog stuff on it. It's pretty cool. Or emissions, I guess. California is a smog. The lingo comes from California. But the emission stuff and like the 302 Fords are a beefier block. They're some cool stuff from Mexico. And a lot of stuff is a little different. The trim is a little different. Like the Chevy Cavaliers have like Pontiac nose pieces on them, so the cars are a little different. So they're pretty cool, and he sells all that stuff. So I give you a pretty good plug here because you got good stuff.
And there have been streams where we dedicated a lot of time to Mexican specs cars, and we like to talk about honestly all the projects that people who come to our chat do. But we can't always spend a lot of time on Mexican spec stuff, but I'm sure we will circle back to some of Mexican Spec's cars because he has some really good stuff that's fun to look at. Um, Olive and JB say they are into flip phones. And you know what? There's something to be said for a phone that's just for like, that's just a phone. And I think those are coming back. Aren't those more popular again?
I I
They were gone and now they're coming back.
I really resisted the
I
smartphones at
like the
first
smartphone.
because when the smartphone first came out, they were iPhones and they were limited to AT&T here in the US. They were limited to AT&T. I didn't have AT&T where I worked. AT&T didn't work, and Verizon had covered all the interstates in the US with a couple of little exceptions. So I had Verizon, so I couldn't get a smartphone. I couldn't get an iPhone. So I had a flip phone extraordinaire that had a keyboard on it. It was pretty cool because I could do a lot of texting with it with a complete keyboard. But then the Android phones came out, and that's when I went with smartphone was when the
I don't
Androids
chase
came out.
after the newest phones,
I
but
did.
I enjoy the one I have. And we use it. There's a lot of people who use their phones exclusively to make their YouTube content. You can make pretty good stuff on a phone. But
Oh,
we have other cameras too, but
my
they're
my,
good.
my shorts,
All of them
all of them are from my
on his phone.
phone,
Yeah.
and I load them up from my phone. It's just a phone operation. It's so if you're looking at my shorts, you're looking at stuff from my phone, and I use it a lot. Grease Billy Garage Ranchos are a different breed. I know. I'll be ready for a Mexican Spec Ram Charger in the future.
Mexican Spec is your guy.
He's got those.
Yep. He's your guy. Watch his Instagram and you'll see them come up and then get in touch with them because they go quick because they are
And
very desirable.
I keep wanting to move that thing out of the way there, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's your
I
mouse.
got a mouse in
Yeah,
front.
there, that's it.
Okay.
I missed the flip phone razor. Oh God, I just had a discussion about this. My youngest son, when the razor came out, he was his kid in school. He had to have a razor, so I got him a razor, and right away, and we got the warranty on it. Right away, he's like, I dropped it in the toilet. I'm like, what? How can you drop your phone in a toilet? Stupid kid, you know? So we it's covered by the warranty, so we go down there and they give him a new phone. Except it's a phone that looks like a razor, but it was a Chinese phone. What a piece of crap that was. So I was kind of upset because we paid for the warranty and they gave us a Chinese phone that
As
lasted.
the replacement instead
What
of
a
a
piece of crap that was.
man.
So then I had to buy him another razor. It's like, hey, don't drop it in the toilet this time.
Grease Belly Garage says my smartphone has 512 gigabytes and I didn't even use my computer anymore. If I look at our YouTube statistics, the
Oh,
majority of people who watch content that we make are watching on phones.
to watch on phones.
Most people have phones, but a lot of people don't have laptop or desktop computers. So, yeah, it's good to make your content so
It
that
is.
people can watch it on their phone.
Somewhere I really need a translator or something. You know what? There's another thing I use my phone for because of Google Translate. I use it a lot.
Yeah,
And
you
you
do.
can
I
talk.
never use that, but you do.
Yeah, I do.
You like multilingual
Well,
stuff.
because I speak enough Russian to get by, barely. And I got to,
Just
I
put it in a bowl of rice, Mexican spec.
so I use it for that because I know there's a lot of words I don't know, a lot of grammar I don't know. And Spanish, same thing there. I barely know Spanish, but I can, with the help of Google Translate, it makes it real nice. I was going to ask Mexican Spec something here. What's the newest car we can import into the U.S. easily from Mexico?
I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be
You got to
right
take
back.
a break. Okay.
Quick break. Quick break.
Open this page and bookmark it. Okay. That didn't work, Kim. I'm not sure what that was because Kim just ran off. Yeah, Mexican Spec. What's the newest car we can get out of Mexico right now? Jeff, what did you use? Record Nostalgia Drags. Great focus. 2000 model right now, depending on the day it was made. Okay, so it goes by, it's actually 25 years then. It's 25 years, but it's by up to the day. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, because the 2000s were out in 99. Yeah, now I understand that. I'm looking over at my email. 25 years and 1 day to be safe. I see. Jeff, you did all that on your phone? That's amazing. Tim, iPhone 12 Pro Max, 5 years old. 5-year-old phone, and you did all that. That's amazing. Yeah, see, I always had to have the newest phone back when I was working and I had money. And I'd always, whatever the newest, latest, greatest um, Android, uh, Samsung Galaxy, the first day I had to have it. And now I've got a Galaxy 10 Plus or something. I've had used these things for years. Did you watch Two Hacks do all those videos, the nostalgia drags? Did you watch any of those?
Not really, no.
Okay, he did all those with an iPhone 12 Max.
iPhone 12
5-year-old.
Pro
5 year,
Max is a
five, you
good
said
phone though.
5-year-old phone.
That was the top of the line iPhone. Top of the line iPhone.
On the
They were
customs
good stuff.
documents, they make you list the manufacturer date. We can also go by the date it was first sold as well. I use an app called Splice.
Oh, you edit on your phone too. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I do. Well, at Drag Race, you can't do that, but I do retakes for shorts because I don't want to edit anything. Occasionally, I have to edit something, and
Well, you
I
can
do it
kind of
on
edit
I do it
shorts
on the
in
I do it on the phone, but I hate it because it doesn't always. It's kind of clunky the way you do it. I had one cut me off right at the end, and it kind of pissed me off, but it made it. It's supposed to a 2000 model with a 4-speed manual. The stick shift only came in the base model. All SLT Plus models had an automatic. I always surf way behind the tech curve. Things plateau eventually.
Yeah, if you don't need the bleeding edge stuff, a lot of times you get like the Sony camera that I have that we use sometimes. I mean, it takes amazing footage. It's only 1080p, but it's the cleanest, most sharp 1080p you've ever seen, and it's like 7 or 8 years old. It's a fantastic camera. So yeah, you
Grease
can do
Belly Garage says he
a
edits
lot.
all his videos on his phone. I hate having my phone in my hand, so I want to edit on my computer. Yeah, I like sitting at a desk to edit.
I make a lot of cuts, and we video a lot of stuff and then piece it together.
Well, she
Speaking of,
zooms in and out and stuff. Yeah.
I do. Speaking
Patrick
of,
Sullivan, good evening.
we do before people fade off because it's not as early as it was. We did uh, take video of a whole bunch of our trip back, mostly coming back from Texas, and I have edited it and put out a rough cut that he needs to review and comment on, and then I will reprocess it and load that up. He'll need to make a thumbnail for it. So that should be coming around in another day.
What happened? Your contacts bothering you?
Yeah, they were
Yeah, I
itchy.
figured that's what happened. She's got her
I think I had some sawdust in my hair from
Kim
firewood
glasses.
earlier.
She always wears the contacts on the
I want
live
to look my
from
best.
Tuesday, which I think it looks really nice. But normally she's got her glasses on. Everybody,
Yeah.
I first met her
It's like being Superman. I'm like incognito most of the time.
going to a phone booth and change
I
glasses.
changed my glasses, and now I am Superwoman.
That was a heck of a disguise, for Superman. Pair of glasses.
And pajamas with a big S on it. At
Yeah.
the end of every shooting day. Oh man, sometimes I'll rack up like a week of stuff. And then we are so chaotic. We'll bounce from this project to that project to this project to that project. So I'm trying to organize them into folders because people that evergreen content is you got to stick with one project or else you lose people. So like working on the Dart, I've got a month worth of stuff that we've done on the Dart that I got to make into one.
We've got a bunch of
Thank you,
new
JP.
viewers in here. Can you change the bus picture back to my picture?
Yeah, I didn't mean to put it up there too long.
Yeah, okay.
This is his new car, and the video about us bringing this car back from Texas and our little adventure that we had last week. Well, within this last week, that will be up. Do you think you can look at it tonight?
Sure.
So we'll be able to put it up tomorrow. It'll be on his channel.
JB, I like your glasses. Those are cute. Patrick Sullivan says, howdy, folks. I'm late. Evidently, there was a power outage somewhere. Knocked out the internet. Isn't that fun? Oh, man. You can take about anything away from here. But when the internet goes out, I'm like, damn. The internet's out.
I heard there was a Chinese boat somewhere in the European waters that was dragging its anchor and ripping up underwater cables. Did you read about that?
Yeah, I know about it.
Man, global politics turns into trouble. I hope it had nothing to do with anything like that, Patrick Sullivan. Glad you made it.
There's a channel she watches and I watch it. And I didn't know we were both watching it for a long time. The China Show.
Oh, yes, we watched the China Show.
So I think he had something in there about that incident.
I think sometimes are not what we talk about, but the way that we do the live stream is kind of in the same format as the China Show. And they can be entertaining. I'll skip around sometimes. Some of the things they talk about I'm not that into, but they do
two hacks. No, it's not a 302. It has a 200 cubic inch 6-cylinder. And it's a
base model engine. It's good.
And it's the interior's like a new car, and it doesn't smell bad inside. No rot, mouse turds, none of that stuff. It's really nice, and it drives nice. We drove it back from Texas, but I don't know. I could put a 302 in it or a 351 Windsor. I had another one of these like 35 years ago, maybe 40 years ago, and it had a 4-cylinder in it that I pulled out, and I put a 302 in it that I built, and that was a fun car. And I've had a lot of 351 Windsors, so I'm going to drive this the way it is for a year or so because we have other projects. But it could get a Windsor in it at some point, and it would bolt in like a stock car. And then if I ever wanted to change it back to the 6, it'd just bolt in, So that one has AC. This one does have AC. Oh, you're talking about something else.
He's talking about
a Mexican spec car.
Yeah. Which is fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, I was just talking about this for a second. So 2X says you always like this body style.
He was so excited when he saw this car, and he just couldn't stop talking about it. He had to have it. So we went and got it.
It's JB, who's probably in here right now. JB pointed this out to me, sent me an email, says with 2 of them, links to 2 of them. And the other one was kind of, it'd been over on the coast in Texas, and it had a lot of rust. This one doesn't have, there's not a spot of corrosion on this car. So I really wanted it. And as soon as I saw that, I go, man, this is the one. And then eventually we were able to work out the deal. I'm going to put up let's see if I can do this.
Oh, JB says, yes, I'm still here.
Oh, yeah. See if I can do this. Can I do this?
Yeah, pause it, and then you can copy and paste.
I'm going to copy and paste exactly what I'm going to do. No, I can't because... Oh, yeah, I can.
Just open it up.
Yeah, I can. I know it's...
Sorry, everyone. We're a little distracted. He's going to put up a link to...
I'm going to put up a link. Okay.
The man who we bought this car from.
The man who we bought this car from is an actor. You may know who he is. You may not know who he is. But I'm going to put up a link that's on YouTube. It's a video... What do they call it? Like a trailer?
Yeah, it's a movie trailer.
He played Pablo Escobar, and he's done a lot of different things. He's done a lot of commercials. He's done movies. He's done TV. but he's a really interesting guy, and we spent a little time talking to him, and we did some video, and he's good with this. So anyway, I'm gonna put this up so that if you want, you can go and you can watch the trailer and see who this guy is that I bought this car from, and he played Pablo Escobar in this uh, in this thing. So there's the link.
Tim says he worked for MCI for a long time, and they laid the fiber backbone for the internet all over the world, something like 5 million miles of fiber optics. Man, fixing broken fiber optic cable under the ocean, can you imagine? That must be a horrible job to try and do.
So this guy's name is Joe Rojas Jr., and he's actor, and you can watch the trailer. It's actually there's like several little clips in here. It's a minute and 45 video.
But yeah, he was a really nice guy to meet. And
Fun guy, yeah.
he was happy to send the car with us. He didn't really have he had other things to do than to try and keep this car maintained the way it needed, and it really wasn't too much trouble for us. The heater core is going to be a pain in the butt, but most of the things that this car needs are just maintenance things. You know, it's an older car, so it needs a little bit of extra love than what most people would be used to doing, but, you know, we're car people, so it doesn't seem overwhelming to us. And we are going to, he's planning to daily drive it.
There are several movies about Pablo Escobar. This is the one that was done in 2019. And yeah, I don't know. I think he did a pretty good job.
Mexican Spec says he only has 8 right now because he's been slacking. That's 8 cars that he feels like he needs to sell. Grease Belly Garage says he's got 10. And 38 Racing says only 10. So I guess he has a lot more cars than that sitting around. I know we have 3 or 4 or 5. Like, the problem is right now the market, used car market is kind of soft in our area at least, and I see people selling the vehicles like the ones that I have. They're selling them so cheap, and it's like, man, I don't want to just give that away. That's a good car. So
So anyway,
Grease Belly Garage bought an estate from a veterinarian and car collector that passed away 2 years ago. Ended up getting 11 cars out of that place. Oh, okay. Yeah, estates are kind of cool.
Well, Joe, they speak Spanish at home.
Yeah.
But they speak English too. So his kids speak Spanish in the house. But like Kim spent quite a bit of time playing with one of his kids, and he was pretty good with English, wasn't he?
You know, we were doing colors, and I don't think, no, his English was very, but he was a little kid who barely spoke too.
Yeah, he's a little kid.
It was fun. We had fun. We threw the basketball, and we walked around and pointed out colors, and they had puppies, they had dogs.
Queen of the South.
New puppies.
He was on Queen of the South.
Oh, this man?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. You know who he is. Yeah, we got to meet him in person. He was great. He was so nice. And the car is fantastic. It was exactly as he described it. And he was happy to see it go to someone who could care for it. So we made a friend in Texas.
Yep. So there was 2 Queen of the South shows, though. I think weren't there like several seasons of it? I'm not sure. I thought there were like 6 or 7. I don't know. So anyway,
Grease Belly Garage says it's very soft. You know what? It's very mixed though, because I think the new car market is incredibly soft, like crazy. But I still see, like, who was it? Was it Barrett Jackson just had a big auction again? Some of those cars sold for really, really good money. So, you know, in some ways it's good, in other ways it's bad. If people aren't buying new cars in a couple of years, what will happen is a lot of the used cars will sort of get burned out. And then the used market will get overpriced, and then they'll come back in with new cars. But if they allow Imports, because all the Chinese made a bazillion of those electric cars, but I don't think they're going to let them import those, which is kind of good because it would destroy the market here in the United States.
So
I'm sorry, let's go back.
Grease bellies. So I have days when I wake up with no intentions of buying any more cars, and then I buy two by 5 p.m. that day.
Yeah, we have to be really careful. I always keep a car on the trailer, so it's too much work to go and get another one.
Is that why that car's on the trailer? So you
I never take the car off the trailer. I have to be serious.
There's another car we've got in the line of cars to do. I forgot all about that thing. It's It's a what is that thing?
It's a Nissan 300
ZX. It's a 300 ZX. Yeah.
And it guards the trailer so that new cars can't come.
It's hard to believe I paid $2,700 for my Demon new. It's crazy what they're worth now. Yeah.
Yeah, $6,000, $8,000 is not a lot to see a Demon go for if it's in one piece.
Mexican spec says yes, Buff, but one was in English and the other in Spanish. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, Demons bring big bucks.
Yeah, and the all the Mopars are bringing mucho
blue grit
dinero.
I have 17 cars, trucks, and trailers. 3 more. I might be considered a hoarder. See, I don't know. I lost count of how many vehicles we have.
We have more than a dozen.
I know I have 3 that have current license. They're insured. Is it 3 or 4? I don't know. And then you have 2 that have current license and insurance.
There's 7 cars over there. There's 7 cars in the driveway.
I mean, there's all kinds of
cars. And then over by the shop, there is... There's 8 more over by the shop. 8 and 7 is 15. Good God, we got 15 cars, and I probably forgot one somewhere. I think that's all.
Belly says, I've sold 3 cars at Barrett Jackson, Palm Beach. Most of the cars there are just average run-of-the-mill stuff. You know, when I used to watch, I haven't done it lately, the Barrett Jackson stuff, I used to watch this stuff from the first couple of days because that was stuff that was affordable. You know, it was in the last day or so. They have all this crazy expensive stuff. Man, I watched a Barrett Jackson one time on a 63 Dodge 2-door hardtop with a late model Hemi in it, you know, a 3rd-gen Hemi in it. Went for $500,000. It was a black one. I was like, oh, man. I remember when I was 16, there was one of those on the lot, and I didn't have quite enough money for it. It was $700, $695, $700. And it was, of course, it had a 383 in it, 4-speed. And that other one had I don't know what transmission it had, but I remember it was a 3rd-gen Hemi. It was a really nice car, but that was some years ago when everything went crazy. $500,000. Never thought I'd see that. But the first couple of days of Barrett Jackson was always really, really reasonable stuff.
38 Racing says, keeping a car on the trailer keeps friends from borrowing it. The same works with pickup trucks, right? If you always have something in the bed. Or the other thing is cars and trucks, if you have a bunch of instructions. Okay, well, make sure when you start it that you wiggle the key, right? And then the thing and check the oil, and you give them a bunch of instructions and people always back out. They're like, oh, never mind.
Sold a Fox body Mustang in 2007, Palm Beach, Barrett Jackson, and got $22,000 for it, which was good money back then. I think it's good money now.
That would be that was.
You know, Mexican Spec had a Mustang. He probably still has a Mustang that I really wanted.
Was it that blue one?
It's that blue one, but
that was nice.
I just didn't have the money for it.
No.
That was, I mean, if somebody wants a nice...
You paid too much for this one, and it was nowhere near what that one was.
Yeah, should I tell them what I paid for that?
No.
I mean, you did one night. You just, like, blurted it out.
And then
I was surprised that you did that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. We don't need to repeat it. And then, you know, the cost of driving to Texas and hotel rooms and meals and stuff was, and fuel and all that stuff was, I guess, trivial, but not non-trivial.
And then I didn't lie about what I paid for it, so I paid a big chunk of tax on it, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then I had to pay for the license plate.
But you would have paid that for any car we got.
And yeah, there's a bunch of expenses in something like this. It's like, this is what I wanted. I got it. I've wanted a Fox body since my last Fox body, which was like 30 years ago. He's in love with it,
so I'll help him do whatever he wants to do with it. Mexican Spec says, Kim, never count how many you have, live in denial. Never count your money while you're sitting at the table. Let's see. Telling friends I don't loan cars stops them from borrowing them too. Well, yes, but it's easier when they
Well,
back out of the idea.
you know what you did today? You took the stuff out of the back of your truck so you could use it.
I did. I emptied out the back. The back of the truck had been just like collecting stuff.
It
Like
was
there was
all
a
it was all
318 motor in
all
there. I was
covered
like,
up
oh,
with
let's get that
tarps
out of
and
there.
everything, and she cleaned all that out of there so she'd go move wood
You know
around.
what the real danger is now the
Now
318's in the
the
garage.
318's in the garage. She's
And
got a
I'm formulating plans for the 318.
I saw that 318. I go, you know, this would
I'm
just bolt.
tempted to put that in instead of the slant
Bolt
6.
into the dart. Oh, you just put that slant 6 together. It's ready to go in the dart. Let's
We'll
put it in
find
there.
something to put it in.
Let's put it in the dart.
I think I want to turbo it,
Let's
maybe in
put
the
that.
dart.
Let's put that 318 in something else.
Maybe.
In this Ford. No, I'm not doing that.
No.
Um,
No. Oh, you know why that 318 won't go in a dart? The oil pan will not fit.
oh, it's a truck 318.
I'd have to get a different. That's only $70, but I got to get a different oil pan for it, and then I need exhaust manifolds and exhaust for it. So there's some stuff that I'd have to do to get it in that car, and different motor mounts.
Slant 6 just bolt in.
No, different motor mounts. Oh yeah, right. The slant 6 will just bolt right in. Right in. Yeah, right in. Which will be coming here in another week or two as well. It's on the chopping block runway. It's on the runway. Yes, we have a runway in front of the garage.
This is One-Eyed Cat. Good evening. How you doing?
Oh, welcome to the stream. I was wondering why you hadn't come in.
Always comes in like 'cause she's working, right?
That's right. Yeah. Wow.
So I had a reefer trailer. So I picked up produce for grocery stores. Man. Greasebell, I have to go to sleep. Have a great night, everyone. Well, thanks for coming in and
yeah, thanks for coming in and chatting, and you had lots of good input tonight, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fun having you. Yeah, you must have 40 cars on there. Yeah, I bet you do. I still go back and look at your cars all the time. I wish you'd had these.
Who?
Mexican Spec.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't have these in Mexico.
Oh, I see.
They had the wagons and the box top, the ones with the high tops, which I don't really like. I like I like this, like it has a chop top. It's much lower. Kind of like that. My brother wanted to borrow a car some years ago. I decided it was cheaper just to give it to him. As long as I got it back when he had it broken. Oh, that's pretty funny. Man, I used to have buy here, pay here, used car lot, and people would make payments by the week. And they'd make like 3 or 4 payments. They quit making the payments, and you had to go find them, because you wanted the payments to go. And then the car would be broken. That's why they quit making payments. So then you had a decision to make whether you're going to repo the car or whether you're going to fix it for free so you could start making the payments again. What a terrible business. What a terrible business model. Go fix cars for free so they keep making the payments.
Patrick Sullivan, I'll rewatch the vid. Good night, folks. Thank you for being here, Patrick. Hopefully we'll see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
We have
Thanks
bat
for stopping
channels,
in.
though.
Bat? None of it's bats. Same Fox time, same Fox channel.
Oh yeah, from the Fox
body
bodies.
car. Mexican Spec says every time without exception I loan a car, it comes back damaged, and I want to unalive the person. It's easier not to loan it out. Yeah. I do not like when someone borrows my car and breaks, and then they're not like they offer to pay to fix it or anything like that. They're like, oh, I didn't do nothing. Like, probably didn't do.
Yeah, I used to borrow my brother's car all the time, and I broke it. It's a 63 Plymouth. We were stupid kids, went under an underpass, turned the key off. As I go into the underpass, you turn the key back on, and bam, make big pow at the exhaust. I did it one night and blew the muffler up, blew the whole bottom out the muffler. But you know what I did? I put a new muffler on it for him. So, well, if you will like this one. What is this one?
I don't know. Maybe he'll send us a link.
You'll like this one. Yeah.
Blue Grit says, tell them to pump the brakes or they might go to the floor. Not really, but then they don't want to borrow the truck. That is a good way. I've done that on cars that, were that way and they were like, nah, never mind. And oh
Brakes?
no, it's fine. It hardly ever does that. And they're like, no. And you're like, oh good. Then they rent a truck. Like, that's probably better
A
anyways.
few times I've borrowed a car, it always comes back with gas wash, generally in better condition than when I picked it up. I used to borrow a truck once in a while at work, and I always brought it back with more gas than it had and clean. Loaned out a nice 1980 Pinto Cruiser wagon. The guy called me one night and said, "Hey, your clutch went out." And I left the car on the side of the road.
Oh.
The clutch went out. I just have more mechanical sympathy than anyone I know. I don't loan out my most attached vehicle, period.
No. Yeah, no.
Next, yes, I seem to get other. I also seem to get others' cars parked here too. They must leave the keys. I tell them I might need to move it, and they slide easier on the route. Time for tea. Tommy Hanlon.
Nice, Tommy. Enjoy the tea. What kind of tea this evening are you having?
That actually sounds good. I could make some green tea tonight.
There you go. That's a good idea.
Yeah, they move better when you slide them on the top.
That'll make them think twice about leaving the car.
Oh man. I assume that means you're leaving. I don't know if it means he's leaving or just getting some tea.
I don't know. If he's leaving, hopefully we'll see him next time. I don't think we've driven too many people away yet, although we haven't seen John Wilburn tonight, and we haven't seen John Cope. But, not everybody. I don't go to every stream. They usually stop in for a few minutes. Though.
John Cope's got some interesting stuff going on with these cases, these transmission cases.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Options.
They can be on the roof in a minute. Yeah. Well, Kim.
Yes. 3 hours.
I think we're about there. I am going to find this. I think I can leave it one more time in case anybody's new here that didn't see it. I put the wrong thing up. I pushed the wrong button. So can you imagine that? I pushed the wrong
button. Will have a new video coming out of our trip to go pick this car here up. And it'll be out in a day or so keep an eye out for that. I have a new video coming out of something. I don't remember what, but I have something in the pipe. I'll have to dig at it here. That'll be out in a couple of days. And if you guys have something that you've put out new, feel free to mention that, and we will send links because it's a community stream, and we want to see everybody have success, and we want to enjoy people.
Oh, we didn't discuss next year. Yeah, you're right, Buddy Carpano. Well, two things I want to say here. Maybe John Wilburn's out there changing more tires. I can't believe I watched that video. I watched a whole hour of John struggling with a tire. I watched that whole thing, but I was kind of doing something else at the same time. Okay, so what year? No, I'm not leaving. Irish blend, cup of tea. None of your mild English blend teas. Irish tea will put hair on. Okay, so Bruce Colton's taken off. Okay, so what year? Somebody put Studebaker. I watched some of it. Okay, so what year? We did 59 tonight. We showed a bunch of 59 cars.
Oh, we probably didn't get through half of the
66 stuff. Is a good year. Okay.
Oh yeah, my Dart is a 66.
So we're gonna do 66. JB says he likes 66. Okay, so there's 2 votes for 66. That's all we need. I say 66. Okay. I second it. So anyway, 66 next year, or not next year, next week, next Tuesday night. And then I'm going to put up this link again if any of you want to. I don't know if anybody's interested in this. I kind of enjoyed hanging out with this guy for a while. This is
Thank you, Olive. Olive also says 66 is good.
well, early 67.
Early 67.
Okay, so 66. So this is the guy, this link I just put up is a trailer to this actor that I bought this car from. And he's an interesting guy, and if you want to watch him, you can watch him. So 66 next week. And anything else, Kim?
Um,
I'll try to remember to remind everyone about that Mopar swipe. Okay, good. Yeah, let's
March will come up quick, but not yet. But yes, definitely remember to remind us, and we'll do a meetup. We'll do a meetup at
gonna do a New Year's show. You know what I was thinking, Kim? What are we gonna do on Thanksgiving? That's 2 nights from now. You want to come in here and do a Thanksgiving show, like for an hour or so?
We could do that. We could do it from the shop. We got work to do.
Okay, well, do we want to commit to it?
No.
How do we send pictures to you? Oh, I'll get that right now. I'm gonna try to get that right now.
I'm gonna do it. Oh,
you do it. You do it. No,
okay,
you do it. You can do it easier than I can do it. There we go. That's how you send pictures.
That's his email. You can send pictures.
Send pictures. And please, please, please put up your screen name on here. Because if it says something like somebody's name, I'll read your name.
Just make sure you screen it. Please include your stream name.
Because, you know, if you say I'm Roger Smith, I'm gonna say Roger Smith when your name's really something else that you use on here, and then it won't make any sense. So yeah.
And
yeah, no turkey for us. You know what we did? We went to the store yesterday and we drove my new car to the store. That was cool. So we were in there and they had turkeys, really good deal on it. Kim's going, "Do you want a turkey?" And I'm going, "Man, that's a lot of meat for 2 people." And we just decided it was way too much food for 2 people. So I have a ham.
We should see what John Hart is doing, because he's local and he's a really good cook. Maybe he'll be cooking turkey. I'm sure he can't eat a whole turkey either.
I'm not gonna. So
I like turkey, so if I have to,
we could
beg a little bit, I might.
We could. I don't know.
It is a lot of work to make a whole turkey.
And then there's 2 of us that don't eat a lot. You know, we'd be eating turkey until it goes bad. Yeah. I like turkey. Oh, Johnny C.
You know, when you really want to get a turkey is the week after Thanksgiving, because they got to get rid of all them turkeys.
Okay. So, turkey sandwich.
We don't eat bread.
I can't have bread.
Yeah, it's painful.
I cannot eat bread. I'm a diabetic, so it's like bread, right? My father used to say, "Don't eat anything white." So it's bread, rice, potato. It's all the good stuff. But I just can't eat bread. And I ate a little bit of bread on the trip. But yeah, anyway. Good freeze for another day.
I know, I could freeze it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. We'll get turkey leftovers from somebody. Some stuffing. Oh man, I need some stuffing.
I can't eat that. That's bread.
I know, but I can.
Well, we've been on here 3 hours. I'm ready to say goodnight.
Okay, everybody,
good night, Kim.
Have a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. Don't eat too much, but also eat your fill. Enjoy time with family if you do that. And we will be around probably, most likely on Thanksgiving Eve, and maybe on the weekend, because we're back in the state of Tennessee, and we're going to be doing stuff in the garage. We've got our firewood hooked up so we can get the wood stove going and get to work.
We got some firewood.
We got a lot of work to do. So, thank you everyone for being here who commented. Thank you Mexican Spec for being our moderator.
Even the local cats get sick of turkey after
I'm sorry if we missed anyone's comments or if we weren't able to share your photos. We'll try and do better next time. And it was great to see everyone, and we'll do it again as soon as we can.
Good night, everybody.